I told people before, like they'd be like, "Oh, you volunteered to do that." I was like, "No, no, no. I was voluntold to
Yeah.
do that. That's how it is in the military."
So my wife said, "Well, what do you want to do?" I said, he's going to be my boss either way, and I guess I should do whatever's best for the brigade. So I called him back and said, "Sir, whatever's best for the brigade, I'll do it." So he set me up to take command in December of '03. So I went out to Columbus, Ohio. I took command on a Saturday of our weekend drill, and on that Sunday we got alerted for mobilization to go to Iraq. And so at that point they put us on act. The way the alert status is when you're going to a combat situation is you start out with 2 weeks at your home station to get all your stuff ready, and then you go 8 weeks to a pre-mobilization site to be trained, pre-mobilization training, which is about 8 weeks, and then you go to your combat assignment. And Christmas of '03, I spent at Columbus, Ohio for 2 weeks, all the way through the holidays I spent there. And then we end up going to Fort Dix, New Jersey for our pre-mobilization. And I got to give the Army credit. They send us to Fort Dix, New Jersey during the winter to prepare us to go to the desert, which didn't seem to make a lot of sense. But
No, it never does.
so I ended up, like I said, I took command, got to learn the other officers in my unit, and we ended up going to Fort Dix, New Jersey in early January of 2004. And we were prepared to spend 8 weeks at Fort Dix, New Jersey. While I was there, during the first couple of weeks that I was there, I get a call from General Karpinski, who was then the military police brigade commander in Iraq that was over all the detention operation units in Iraq. And she had told me that there's an investigation going on with the unit that's there right now. But she wanted me to stress working with the unit, making sure we train on treating detainees with respect, discipline, and respect.
I knew you were gonna talk about. Are you talking about? Are you talking about that prison where like they made like they made all of their detainees, all of the prisoners of war, like put like sodomized
pyramids,
pyramids.
So this was the first. What I heard that there was an investigation for detainee abuse. They call it detainee abuse, but the brigade commander also told me at the time that they're going to accelerate our training at Fort Dix from 8 weeks to 4 weeks because they really needed to make a change. And so we doubled our training up, and in 4 weeks we were ready to go. And towards the early February of 2004, I ended up going to Kuwait for a couple of days, and then they sent me to Iraq, where I ended up taking over for the battalion commander that was relieved because of this abuse scandal.
That's a dangerous time.
It was a crazy time.
To go to Iraq.
Yeah.
That's when it was like first started, and you took over the company
the battalion. Yeah,
you took over the battalion that was having this abuse issue.
Yeah. So I got to meet the battalion commander that was relieved, and he basically told me, "Hey, this is the conditions are tough, and it's going to be a tough job for you, but good luck." And then he was sent home, and so I took over, and the way they work with military police units is the battalion command or the battalion headquarters company goes up first. That was me and my staff, and so we got there first. And at the time, there was 4 military police companies on the ground that worked for the old battalion commander, and I was going to be bringing in 4 more companies, but 2 of them were there's only so many detention operation companies in the United States Army, and most of them are reserve units, and there's not that many.
Yeah.
And so they had 4 military police companies on the ground, and I had to replace them with 2 military police companies and 2 what they call ILOs, in lieu of companies. So one of them was a field artillery battery that was trained to be MPs, and one was a Marine rifle company that was trained to be MPs. So I ended up replacing 4 MP units with 2 MP, a field artillery, and a Marine rifle company. So that was kind of a challenge too.
Yeah, that's quite that's quite a project.
Yeah.
And kudos to you for doing that. what is it like being in military police, like overseas? Are you we military police towards our soldiers, or are we military policing like
Well,
everything?
there's a number of different missions for military police units. They have combat support units, military police, and those are the ones that do convoys and do a lot of work on the battlefield. Then they have law and order. Those are the ones that work on posts and work at the gates to allow people in and out and do the law enforcement mission. And then they have detention operations. And that's what I was involved in. So for detention operations, basically we go out and we build or take over, detention operation centers, and we house and maintain and secure the prisoners.
What was the name of the prison where all this abuse was happening?
The prison that I was at was called the Abu Ghraib prison.
Abu
Abu
Ghraib.
Ghraib. It was an infamous prison run by Saddam Hussein,
Okay.
and it had a real bad reputation. I mean, there was death chambers there where they hung people, and prior to us going to war with them, he did an amnesty, let everybody out, and they pretty much tore the place up, the old prisoners there, and it was just kind of a mess when I got there. But there was also they did maintain one part of the prison for Iraqi criminals, the really hardcore Iraqi criminals. And so when I took over, not only did I have to worry about detainee operations where we had over 7,000 detainees that we had to take care of,
Yeah.
but there was one section of the prison that held somewhere around, I'm guessing somewhere around 1,000 Iraqi prisoners of war, or prisoners, not prisoners of war, really
Yeah.
bad guys that were run by Iraqi correction officers. And these Iraqi correction officers weren't the best officers in the world. There was a lot of corruption. And so we were helping them out a lot of times when they had riots and all kinds of stuff going on their part of the prison. So not only did I have to worry about taking care of our detainees, but I had to help the Iraqis take care of their part of the prison too. So it was kind of a challenge.
So you have quite a record. I can tell you that, and probably the people listening can tell you that. But what is the toughest challenge you had in your service?
Wow. Well, obviously my Iraq mission was probably the toughest because I went in there. I had to kind of change the culture of what was going on there because the unit that was there first, there was not a lot of leadership oversight going on. And so if you remember seeing those pictures and of all that abuse scandal, you could tell that these soldiers weren't afraid of being caught because nobody ever checked on them. It was the night shift, and they just got kind of crazy doing things. What the bottom line of what happened with the old unit, people ask me, how did the abuse happen? What happened is in a detainee operation situation like that, you have the MPs that take care of the prisoners, but then you also have the military intelligence folks that want to get intelligence from these detainees.
Right.
And so
it's torture.
Well, yeah, but what happened was the military intelligence folks came to the night shift and asked the sergeant that was in charge and said, listen, we're going to be talking to this detainee tomorrow. So if he has a bad night tonight, that might not be a bad thing. So the soldiers kept the guy up all night, and the next day, MI guys came back and said, hey, whatever you did worked because that guy talked. Now we're going to be talking to this. So it kind of snowballed into the MPs thinking that they're helping the cause by roughing up and treating these detainees badly. And so it just got to the point where it just snowballed. And unfortunately, somebody took pictures of it. The pictures were leaked, and that started the whole abuse scandal.
How do you change the culture? How do you crack the whip and tell these soldiers that hey, you can't do this to these people, even though the things they've done to us, for instance, 9/11, and the Saddam Hussein, just so how do you tell your soldiers hey, you can't do that? That's bad.
When I first got there, like I told you, there was 4 companies on the ground that were part of the old battalion. And when I got there, I noticed there was a lot of writing on the helmets. They weren't wearing their uniforms properly. There was signs on their vehicles. I mean, it was just, you could tell that the standards weren't being checked on. And so the first thing I did, I knew I wasn't going to fix the units that were getting out. So as my companies came in, I made sure that I stressed that we're going to enforce standards. I got all the senior NCOs and officers in with me, and I told them, listen, once we get on the ground here, we're going to enforce standards. Just because we're in combat doesn't mean we can lessen the standards. And then I also said that there's going to be some leadership oversight. We're going to start with myself and my command sergeant major, and we're going to be on a list, and we're going to have people out every night, every day, going out and checking on the troops. And I'm not, and I told them we don't want to make this look like we're trying to catch them doing something bad, but we want the troops to know that leadership's going to be coming by checking on you guys. And so, so I a lot of times when the abuse scandal hit the news, we had every reporter in the world wanted to come to Abu Ghraib. Every politician wanted to come out there.
Yeah.
And so I spent a lot of time more as a tour guide than I did as a battalion commander. But everybody always asked me, what are you doing different? And so I said, it's kind of simple. We enforce standards and there's leadership oversight. And that kind of worked for our battalion so that everybody knew that, I would do it in the middle of the night. I would go and check up on the guard towers and say hi to the troops. And, I would always say, hi, what's going on? You guys need anything? And make it into like a,
wow.
And so they knew that, the command sergeant major, the battalion commander, the company commanders, the senior NCOs, somebody's going to come by and check on them. And so, so it worked for us. And so we were able to get through our year with no detainee abuse allegations. And it really worked out for us.
If you did have to discipline a soldier and you did find them doing something that's like against the Geneva Convention, so what would you say? You're out of the Army, or would you?
Well, I wouldn't make that decision. I would just prefer charges to the legal authorities, the JAG officers, and then the JAG officers would start an investigation, and there would be a trial. It would start out as either an Article 15 if it's a minor offense, or a court martial for a serious offense.
Oh, that would be a serious offense, probably.
Yeah, so it never happened with us. I didn't have to prefer court martial charges. I think I did give a number of minor Article 15s for minor things, for people sleeping on duty or doing something crazy, but no abuse scandals.
Did you instill fear in these soldiers, or did you have your company commanders, or everyone down below say, hey, this is the standard, we're not doing this anymore, if you do it, you will be punished?
Yeah, I guess I didn't want to make it sound like we're scaring the troops to do what they're supposed to, but I wanted the troops to understand that, hey, we have standards and we're going to enforce the standards, and somebody's going to be checking on you. So, so they knew, and hopefully not out of fear, but hopefully they did the right things because it was doing the right thing, and not because they were afraid that they were going to get caught doing the wrong thing. That makes sense.
That's incredible. Well, good job to you, man, for Abu Ghraib was all over the world. That pissed off a lot of Muslim countries too. Even Morocco. The soldiers were coming. Not soldiers, the civilians were just storming Iraq just because they were so upset with those pictures.
I remember when I was there when we found out that 60 Minutes was going to do the report. This was probably April, so we were probably there a couple of months where it was pretty quiet because nobody on the outside knew about this yet. It was still a good investigation throughout the Army, but it didn't hit the news as of yet. But in April, we found out it was going to be on 60 Minutes. So I remember sitting down with one of the what do you call him, the post commander for Abu Ghraib, and we sat down and we watched it. And as soon as we watched it, I remember him and me looking at each other and saying, oh boy, things are going to be different now, because now, and then I mentioned earlier that once it hit the news, all of a sudden we started getting calls from everybody that, all the reporters are going to be here, and every general officer is going to want to come and visit, and every politician is going to come and want to visit. And so it was crazy.
It probably happened, did it?
Yeah. So it did. Yeah. So like I said, I spent a lot of time as kind of a tour guide, and we had press conferences all the time. And again, they kept asking me, what are you guys doing different? And I tried to explain, like I explained to you, that, hey, we're enforcing standards, leadership oversight. I always wanted to joke and say, "Oh, we don't take pictures anymore." That's what, but I don't think that would have been the right answer.
No, that's horrible. That would have been
Yeah,
funny.
yeah,
So you take over this battalion in Abu Ghraib,
yeah.
which is like this notorious prison where the scandal
Hmm.
happened. Well, it wasn't really a scandal; it actually happened,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and you fix the battalion, and you know, again, kudos to you because like that is not how you treat POWs, even
Yeah.
if we do hate their guts. You know, what I
Yeah.
mean? You gotta stay disciplined. Like
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
so. My mentor, Colonel Smith, he always says you have to maintain a level of professionalism,
Absolutely.
and so I try to be at that standard. But as far as Iraq, is Iraq like the end of your journey, or is there
No,
more?
actually, so I did my year, and it was a successful year. So I was able to come back home, and I ended up giving up command when I came back uh, to the battalion because I kind of made a deal with the general that I would take that battalion, but once we got back, I would need to transfer back to an Illinois unit because in the reserves you come out 1 week in a month and a lot of other meetings and stuff, and I did not want to be going from Illinois to Columbus, Ohio all the time.
Yeah.
So I ended up transferring back to the 85th Division,
Okay.
which was the training division in Arlington Heights, and and then fortunately, I got selected for bird colonel. And I was able to find a slot in the 85th Division for the bird colonel. I became one of the exercise directors. And soon after I made colonel, I ended up getting a call from the Pentagon. One of the officers that I got to know had a job as working for the Provost Marshal General in in the Pentagon, and he said that he's getting ready to retire, and they're looking for a replacement, and they think I would be a good selection to replace him. And at the time, it was the chief of the leadership, or not the chief of the leadership, the National Detainee Reporting Center,
Okay.
which is run out of the Pentagon, and that's which tracks all detainees through all the Afghanistan, Iraq, Guantanamo Bay, and
Well,
but he's
you're a legend,
yeah.
man. You turned around
Yeah,
Abu Ghraib.
yeah. So they said you'd be perfect for this position. And so I said, okay. And so I had to go to my police department and say, hey, I'm leaving again because I had already left for a little over a year and a half for the Iraq mission. And now a year later, I'm telling them I'm going to be going to the Pentagon. And they told me it would probably be for a year. And so I ended up putting in, I got orders to go to the Pentagon. And so I ended up going to the Pentagon. And I started out as running the National Detainee Reporting Center, where I had a staff of about 7 people. And then, then while I was there, the Provost Marshal General said, "Hey, we have 2 divisions within the Provost Marshal General's division. But we're thinking of starting a detainee operation division to kind of oversee all detainee operations in the Army." And so he said, "Would you be interested in leading that up?" And so I said, "Yeah." So what ended up having is I ended up extending for a year,
Okay.
and it was at this point that my wife decided she was a teacher at the time, and I was already gone for a year at the Pentagon. And so she decided to take a leave of absence and came out and lived with me for the second year while I was there. But during the second year, I ended up starting the detainee operations division at the Pentagon. And that worked out pretty well. I got to go to Guantanamo Bay a number of times. Anytime there was a detainee abuse event at Guantanamo, they would send me there to do the investigation, and so I did that. And then I also became the military police NATO representative, so I got to go to Europe a lot. So I got to go to Europe a lot, and I got to take my wife with me. So that worked out pretty well. But then after the second year, they asked me to extend for another year. And long story short, I ended up staying there for 4 years. And in my third year there, I actually went over 30 years. And the rule at the time was anybody other than general officers had to retire at 30 years. And so they told me they'd like me to stick around. So they asked if I would retire on one day and then come back the next day as what they call a retiree recall. And so I did. I retired one day, came back the next day. And so I ended up doing 4 years at the Pentagon till I actually really retired in 2011.
So you went from 1979 to 2011.
32 years.
Was 2011 was when we killed Osama bin Laden.
I think it was right around there. Yeah.
Right around that time.
Yeah.
So, first of all, this was amazing. And thank you so much for the time. Throughout your illustrious career in the military, what was your favorite time? Would you say it was?
Wow. Yeah, they were all good. I mean, being a company commander was a nice job. I mean, it was just a great feeling to know that I had, had good working relationships with all the people under me. And so that was fun. But being a battalion commander in combat, I guess, was probably the highlight of my career, even though it was probably also the toughest and the most stressful time of my career. When I look back at it, it's something that I'm pretty proud of. And so I would call that a pretty good time. And then making bird colonel too, because like I said earlier, my goal once I got in the reserves was make lieutenant colonel, get at least 20 years in and retire and have a pension, a small pension. So it turned out that I retired in 32 years with a little bit larger pension. So as a retired colonel.
That is amazing, Craig. Thank you so much for joining the podcast.
My pleasure.
The veteran edition at the VFW. I have one more question though. There is, for all those kids out there that want to be soldiers, do you have any advice for them?
Yeah, my advice is if you're going to decide to be a soldier, be serious about it and know what you're getting into, because it's going to be a disciplined career. But it's a very rewarding career also. Serving your country is something that, very few people get to do. And so, like I said, if you're going to do it, be serious about it and then do it right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Craig S6. Guys, if you enjoyed this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, take a breath for me. Thanks, man.
Thanks, buddy.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Max. Oh, man.
All right, Max, now you're
You're
still live. Yep.
My phone's been going off this whole time.
Your phone's in my hand. How is that possible?
I keep hearing it.
Like the ring thing?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll turn it off. Thanks for heads up.
What's up, Gordy? Do you remember me?
Huh?
Do you remember me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
From South Elgin High School?
Yeah, but I don't. Was it in? What it study hall that way?
Yeah. Well, I was always skipping, and you would see me in the hallway.
Oh, okay. When I was
cafeteria.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I graduated in 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, if we're live right now, so if anybody's watching from South Elgin High School, Gordy Steinway, everyone knows who he is, and
I didn't know we were live yet.
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, okay.
We've been live. I'm gonna say my intro, and then we can get started on your interview if you're okay with that.
Oh yeah.
Yep. All right. Let me do it. Yep. All right. And welcome back to another episode of Life to the Max podcast. I'm your host with the most, Max Gross, and today I'm here with Gordy Steinway. He was actually a DA. Were you a DA?
Well, yeah, I was a sub and I would sub for dean's assistants too when they were out. But I was a teacher's sub.
Yeah, he was a teacher sub in my high school, and 12 years later, he's sitting right here with me, about to do an interview of his career in the military, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So, Gordy, first of all, thank you for being on the show. How have you been, man?
Oh, pretty good. Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just get straight to it then. It's when how did you join the Air Force?
Okay. Well, I was at Elgin High School in the early 20s. And back then, the Korean War or the Vietnam War was on, and they were enlisting men that were 18 years or older. And I graduated from Elgin High in 1964, and I got a draft notice. And because I had been accepted by Luther College to go to college, I got a 4-year deferment from the draft. So after I graduated from Luther College in 1968, I got my draft notice that summer, and I really
What was that like? Like being drafted? Like how did psychologically like?
oh well, with the war still going on, I mean, you had your concerns about being in the Army or the Marines.
Yeah.
Most of the draftees went to the Army, so. But
you were
I
like,
didn't want to be in the Army, so I enlisted in the Air Force.
"Yeah."
So I actually was joined the Air Force in October of 1968,
All right.
and I had basic training at Lackland Air Force Base down in Texas, and advanced training at Keesler Air Force Base in Mississippi. My advanced training was in the area of air traffic control, radio communications.
All right. So
So-
that's what you basically went to school for, was air traffic control.
Yeah, right. Just knowing how to, well, we had to learn how to type too, because we had to type the information that we were receiving and sending to the pilots like that, and then how the proper radio terminology or whatever you'd call it when you're talking to pilots and stuff like that.
Where was your first unit?
I'm sorry.
Where was your first unit?
Oh, okay. Well, then in well, it would be October of '69. I got orders to go to Vietnam, and I was assigned to. There was a team of Air Force people that we were assigned to assist MACV. That's Military Assistance Command Vietnam, and we were located in Tay Ninh City, which was close. It was northwest of Saigon and close to the Cambodian border, and we were stationed in this MACV compound, which was mostly Army that would assist the Vietnamese Army in their maneuvers and stuff like that, and advise them how to do things and that. And so when I got there, I was the third radio operator. There was 3 of us then, and there was 2 pilots, and then I think 1 crew chief that would maintain the airplane. We had it was an 01 single engine Cessna. It was an observation airplane. 2-seater, one be the pilot, and then the co-pilot or extra rider was behind him. And the pilots would go out and spot the positions and shoot a smoke rocket where they wanted the fighters or the bombers to attack.
Were you when you were in Vietnam? Did your pilots ever drop like Agent Orange or
No, we didn't. That was a different type of airplane and a different area of the Air Force, you might say.
Okay.
So we just provided visual reconnaissance and directed airstrikes on the enemy
How long were you there?
for 1 year.
1 year.
So I
Then,
came back 69 to 70.
what was that time like? Like in Vietnam, like most civilians in the United States not really keen towards our
Right,
soldiers,
yeah.
and I've heard like stories of soldiers getting spit on,
Right.
and of course Kent State. So what was that time like?
Well, I didn't really have any encounter in that because in the Air Force, we kind of traveled independently. I mean, I went over by myself, and when I got over there, one of the other radar operator, he left back to the States shortly after I got there. And so we weren't like in the Army, you travel as a platoon or a unit or whatever
Yeah.
like that. And, and we traveled in civilian clothes, so they really didn't recognize us as being in the military or anything like that.
Well, I'm happy you never had to go through that. That's
I didn't
amazing.
have to go through what some of the people coming back from Vietnam, the Army and the Marines, when they'd come back as a unit, and land at the airport or something like that. I didn't encounter any of that.
So when you got back, 1969, 1971, were you still in the Air Force?
Yes, yeah. When I got back, I was stationed at Chanute Air Force Base. It's in Rantoul, Illinois. It's just north of Champaign.
Uh-huh.
And I came back as a admin specialist, and I was the admin specialist for the major who was in charge of the 3345th Security Police Squadron on Chanute Air Force Base in Rantoul. Chanute was a training base where they trained mechanics or mechanical type stuff, planes and plane maintenance, and maybe a few other things too there.
Was there ever a time where someone screwed up on plane maintenance?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, being involved with just the security police, we just didn't get involved with the training side of the base.
Oh no! I was talking about if someone like messed up like during like maintenance on a plane.
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Oh, you want it? Okay.
I mean, when we were in Vietnam, the crew chief, he would maintain the plane along with the pilot. And it was a single engine Cessna, and it was very easy to pretty much maintain. And
right.
we also had a local Vietnamese who assisted the crew chief in that. And they did everything. Us radio operators, we were really in a bunker next to the runway, and we just stayed in the bunker. Every 15, 20 minutes, we'd have to radio the pilot to make sure he hadn't gotten shot down or something like that, or find out his location, or he'd radio back and say he saw something that he'd like to put an airstrike on. And that, when I first got there, we were putting in airstrikes 2 a day. By the time I left in 1970, no, would that be? Yeah. We barely got us one a week, so it was we were winding down there.
Was like that must have been like scary, like being in Vietnam, right?
Well, I mean, we were right in Tainan City, living in the Army had taken over a doctor's estate.
Okay.
And so all the officers were living in the building, and then the rest of us were in, barracks, metal roof barracks out in the courtyard, you might say. And we were surrounded by a kind of a wall, PSP wall, and we had Cambodians, mercenaries that would be on guard. They'd guard the perimeter of our wall.
Wow.
So that was pretty safe, and we'd go out in the community. Actually, we'd we had locals cleaning our barracks and maintaining doing the laundry and that. Sometimes we got so friendly with them, we'd go out and have meals with them, and they'd show us around Tainan City. So it was within that city, it was really safe.
It's good.
And we actually, while I was there was only one time that we got rocketed, and there was a rocket that hit the side of the building, but that was it. No one was hurt or anything like that. So
That was it.
and so really, I found it very safe compared to across town was an Army base camp, and they would get rocketed all the time.
Yeah.
So being right in the city itself, why it was.
So when did you get out of the military?
Okay, while I was at Chanute, the rest of my 4 years, I took night courses in accounting from Parkland College. So when I got out in September of 72, I got a month early out, and I went back to college. I went to U of I and got my master's in accounting science.
And here you are right now
Yeah.
with us. What's your favorite moment in the military?
Oh, I don't know. It was all, I guess, just with our relationship with the locals that would clean our facility and do our laundry. We'd go out, and there's a temple in Tainan City that called the Kaudai Temple, and we'd go with them, and they'd show us around. So it was just really comfortable there, at least for me.
And I find it crazy that like I like see you in Southwest High School when I'm like a little delinquent, just like running around, and then here you are today on my show, and
Yeah.
I honestly really appreciate it. Mr. Steinway, it was a pleasure having you on the
Okay.
podcast. Is there anything you would like to say to the people out there?
No, I was proud to be in the Air Force for 4 years. Got out in September of 72, and when I actually started after 33 years at working for Allstate, that's when I started subbing in 2009, 2020, 2010 school year.
That's when I went to high school.
Yeah, right. So that was a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
So I'm still subbing occasionally, not as much as I used to.
Still subbing?
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe.
shout out to you, man, and shout out to South Ocean High School. If anybody's listening, they see Gordon Steinway, make sure you say hi to him. Say he was on Life to the Max podcast. Hey, I really appreciate you.
Oh, you're
coming
welcome
on,
anytime. Yeah.
sir. And for everybody watching, of course, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. Let's see what you have to say. And as always, take a breath for me. Thank you, Yori. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. Okay.
So I'm gonna say my little intro, and then we'll get this podcast going. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. And welcome back to another episode of Life to the Max podcast. I'm your host with the most, Max Gross. And today I'm at the VFW with Michael Peltier. Michael Peltier was in the U.S. Marine Corps, and this is him. Michael, say hi to the people.
Hello, everybody.
Well, Michael, tell me about your service.
Well, I went in 1978 and did 9 years, got out in 1986 due to an injury, and then I did a lot of stuff in between there, yes.
What? So why did you want to go to the Marine Corps?
Yeah, it was in my family. Everybody was a Marine, and I got out of college and from a DUI, and I ended up in the Marine Corps, yeah.
Nice. So if we can like back up a little bit, what was your? I see you live in Pingree Grove. Have you always lived in Pingree Grove?
No, I raised my family in Lake and Hills.
Okay,
I'm
so-
from Barrington, but I raised my kids in the Lake and Hills, yeah.
Okay, so you're from Illinois.
Right.
So a lot has changed, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just I'm retired now, so
William,
enjoy life.
So when did you join again?
I joined in 1978.
1978, and went to Marine Corps Paris Island.
No, I was a California Marine, San Diego.
San Diego, California.
Then my first duty station was right up the coast, Naval Weapons Station Fallbrook. I was in a MSG, Marine Security Guard Battalion. It was all the ammunition and weapons that the 1st Marine Division and the Pacific Fleet used was stored there underground. So we guarded all that.
What was your like MOS?
My original MOS was an 0341, which is a mortarman.
Okay.
But then I got transferred into MSG, so I did that for 4 years. And in between there, I became a water combat instructor for water survival, Marine combat instructor. So
Water survival.
yeah, I went down and worked with the SEAL team for a week, and then in that time, my XO fell out of the boat, and I went in and saved him, and then he pushed me into the water end of the Marine Corps. So did a lot of stuff with the Marines and some
You
SEAL
saved
teams.
your XO.
Yeah, he fell out of the boat doing rubber boat training and trying to break the waves, and he sort of swallowed some water, and I went and got him.
That's what happens when you're when you're commissioned, you're not enlisted, right?
Yeah, I think I was only a PFC back then, E2.
What was boot camp like?
My boot camp was, of course, a lot of streaming and high intensity. And the funny story is my first day, I forgot my cover in the chow hall, and I came back out, and my unit was gone. It was dark, and I had no clue where to go in MCRD. I was running around looking for my platoon, and I finally found him, but people are yelling at me left and right, where you going? So that was my first day in the Marine Corps was like that in boot camp.
Yikes.
Little stressful.
Did it fly by?
Oh yeah,
8 weeks.
I'm the type of guy that could be yelled at and do well. Yes.
Did the 8 weeks fly by?
I did 3 months, almost 3 months in there. Yeah.
Wow.
I went in December and came home in March.
Okay. And then where were you stationed?
Fallbrook, California, which is about 50 miles north of San Diego.
Still a Hollywood Marine.
Yes, I was. Yeah, and I ended up when I re-enlisted, I went to Cherry Point, North Carolina. So I got out there at Cherry Point.
Did you see any difference between the West Coast and
Oh
the
yeah,
East Coast?
oh yeah. And when I first left Chicago, California during Christmas, a lot of people don't put lights out. Like that was like first thing. When in North Carolina, when it snowed, if it snowed once a year, everyone stayed off the roads. It was like, I was flying down the road going to the beach or whatever. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
That's a good time, man.
hmm
That's good. So you served for 9 years. You
Mhm.
said, what was your favorite moment in the military?
Mm. Uh, some of my proudest moments, I got promoted by the commandant of the Marine Corps to corporal. I won a big contest, and he signed my warrant. So right after that, I got in trouble, and you no one could bust me because the commandant signed my warrant, so no one below him could bust me.
Yeah.
So yeah, after that, that was real proudful, and then all the little stuff I got to do. I got to go down to Panama City and work with SEAL Team 8 and worked on the Alcott aircraft. I was one of the first Marines ever on that.
Wow.
It's the big hovercrafts. Back then they were doing weapons training, and they sent me down to do weapons training for them, and that was pretty exciting.
Was what are you talking about? Like a Harrier?
No aircraft. It's a boat, but it floats on hovercraft.
Oh yeah.
And they didn't know if they're going to use it to get Marines onto the beach at 50 miles an hour or bring in tanks afterwards. It's a big piece of equipment, but it gave off a lot of heat. So that's why they're sending us down there to see if we can figure a way of working it around.
So when you get out of the military, I know there's a huge shock sometimes to people because it's like, oh, this is how the world's ran. Oh, you don't wake up at 0600. Oh, like you know, you start to like appreciate the freedom. What would you what was it like when you got out?
It was hard because I went in for a 20-year career at least, and then I got hurt. And
Oh yeah, can you explain that? How you got out?
yeah, I came home from going down to South America and came back on leave, going to Okinawa, Japan, and I get hit by a car in Barrington running. So at that point, both bones came out, and I was put up for
Holy-
like 6 months, and then they took me out of being in the active part of my unit,
Yeah.
and they put me behind a desk, and I hated that. So
Well, I mean, you're a grunt. You don't want to be behind a desk.
well, sure, I like jumping out of helicopters and doing all that stuff, but yeah. So when I got when my second tour was up, I got out and I had no one to talk to. I wish I had somebody to talk to, like Ted or somebody like that. I would have stayed in behind a desk and got a retirement, and 11 years later.
Were there like support groups back then?
No, like right now, they get out and they can point you to truck driving or whatever. Back then, it was,
Yeah.
hey, thanks for coming. See you later. So it was hard on me, and Budweiser became a good friend of mine then. And I've been sober 33 years now, but
Well,
it was hard getting out.
congratulations, so how was the progression of you like getting out and like finding a job, etc.?
Yeah, I went into security, and then Illinois Armored Car hired me as a hired gun, so I went and did that for a number of years, and then I met a lady and started a family, and so I had to get serious, and I got a CDL, and I drove a semi for 25 years after that.
Well, that's well, I'm sorry you had to go through that, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, life's good now. It's just like like you have to work our way through it.
yeah. Something I say that gets to people sometimes is you have to suffer to succeed.
Okay.
So, like, I feel like when you suffer, like, because life is suffering, like, you're going to just succeed because you're either going to give up or you're going to keep going.
Well, when you hit bottom, you can only go north.
Yeah, that's best saying. When you hit bottom, you can't go anywhere else.
Can't give up.
So how was truck driving? Was it? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, once you leave, you're on your own. You and the radio and all the non-drivers around you. So
For all those kids listening out there and they have GPS on their phone, what was it like being a truck driver without GPS?
in the beginning, you had to really map things out before you got on the road, because
Really?
you can't make a quick left or right turn on a semi. It just can't do that. So you have to be set up for it. But then when GPS came, it was real easy. It told me where to go. But in the beginning, yeah, you had to put some time into before you got in the truck and drove.
It's amazing. What I still can't believe you saved your EXO That's a beautiful
Well, he was one of those
story.
XOs that was like a desk jockey. So
Well, yeah, there's also like lieutenants who come out of West Point and don't know how to use a compass to take point. I was in the infantry,
hmm
so like stuff like that. That's amazing stuff. So I have one more question before we get out of here. For all those kids out there that want to be a soldier, what advice would you give them?
well, it's not for everybody, but it is a good. I mean, I enjoyed it. It's stressful. We were prepared to go to combat. We wanted to go to combat. We wanted to do our jobs. So a lot of these civilians out there don't understand when you go in and you have that attitude. It's you want to do your job. So
Right.
it's not for everybody, but if you can handle the pressure and the physicality of it, it's a good place to be.
Nice. Darth, man, thank you so much for being on
Max,
the
you're an
pod.
inspiration. Thank you.
Guys, if you like this comment, please like, comment, and subscribe. Give a hand for Michael, and as always, take a breath for me. Thank you.
Okay, there you go.
Anyway,
Thanks, Max.
yep. We're still alive. But hey, it was a good interview, man. Nice talking to you.
Yeah. We off?
Yeah.
Last time I saw you, I was driving you on New Year's Eve.
Really?
3-4 years ago, maybe. Yeah, we went to Connor and Nancy's house. Remember?
Oh
New Year's
yeah.
Eve. There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, love you, brother.
You too, man.
Okay. Ah.
That was beautiful. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So I think we have some other veterans coming in to.
Yeah, I posted something.
You posted something?
Yeah.
We're still live, by the way.
Oh, we're still.
Yeah, we're still live.
Oh my god! Oh my, yikes!
I'm gonna give you some
Comment-
water so
comment-
Hannah doesn't pull down here. I'm gonna give you some water.
Comment down below, guys. If you have any questions, if I should ask a question, I think I'm doing pretty good so far. I wouldn't say different. It's not too bad.
Here's Gary. Gary. We're waiting on somebody.
I was telling the chat, if there even is a chat, I was like, I think I'm doing pretty good so far. I'm like, I was like, give me a question, and I'll figure out that question the next time.
Cindy's watching. Say hi to Cindy.
That's what I mean.
And Hannah told me to drink water, and therefore you to drink water. So this is a pretty cool setup, though. I think we might become like live streaming people. Shout out to Rex for encouraging me and pushing me to figure out the damn live stream.
Rex, you were right
Rex, you were right
about
the wagon
and
and the live stream.
we're gonna.
I know it fits perfectly. Max was saying that he was doing a whole bunch of research for that wagon. That wagon was exceptional.
He's like super anal when it comes to like buying something.
Oh yeah, he's gonna research. One thing about Rex, he's gonna research.
He researched.
Say hi to Cindy. Gary.
Cindy, comment down below if I'm doing bad or good.
No, she said that it's exciting to be able to have the veterans on here.
Yep. Hi, Cindy. Well, I'm gonna go mute.
Ready, Teddy?
Ready, Teddy? All right. All right, I'm going to say my spiel and then we'll get talking. All right.
Do what?
I'm going to say my intro
Oh, okay,
and then
yeah.
we'll get talking. All right.
All right.
Welcome back to another episode of Life to the Max podcast. I'm your host with the most, Max Gross. And today I'm here with the Life to the Max alumni, Ted Beaver. Ted, thank you for coming on the show again.
Well, thank you, Max.
Yeah. Let's just get straight into it. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Doing good. So what is I'm about to ask you a series of questions, obviously. And you can answer. You can. Okay.
All right.
All right. So we'll start with your life. How was life growing up?
It was good.
Are you from here?
No, I'm from Lansing, Illinois.
Or Lansing?
I was there until about 12 years old. Then we moved up to Rockford, Illinois.
Okay.
And I went to school up there and everything.
All right. And when you were in school, what made you want to join the military, let alone the Marine Corps?
Well, my dad was a POW, and back in them days, we felt like it was our obligation to go into the service.
Your dad was POW?
Yeah, World War II.
Did he have PTSD?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where what theater was he in? Was he in the German theater?
German, yeah.
German?
He was in a B-17, top turret gunner. They had one of the biggest flights they had with all the planes. It was a ball bearing factory in Germany that they bombed, and that's where he got shot down at on the way back.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I thank your dad for his service.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So you felt like it was your obligation to go to the Marine Corps. How was basic training?
Oh, it was fun.
It was fun.
Not really. Well, I always figured there were thousands of guys that went through it before I did, so if they did, I can do it.
Okay. All right. Did you go to Paris Island?
No, I was a Hollywood Marine, San Diego.
Hollywood Marine. Okay. All right. And when you graduated, what was your job description, your MOS?
Well, the day we graduated, the DIs gave us our MOS, and most of the guys went to Nam, and they sent me to Memphis, Tennessee for the air wing. Oh, shit, I hated it. I joined the Marine Corps to go over Vietnam and fight. And here they're sending me to the Navy in Memphis, where I was going to be an instructor, or not an instructor. I was going to be work on helicopters. And I thought, I'm going to be aboard a ship with a bunch of squids, and I hate it. And I used to tell my instructor, I hate this. I hate it. I want to go to Nam. So about a week before I graduated, I found out guys that were flunking out of school were getting sent to Lejeune to go to Nam. So no brainer. I just flunked out of school.
That's great. Then on your way to Vietnam?
Well, I was down in the Lejeune for a while. I was on a cruise, went on a cruise, and then after the cruise, I turned 18, so they gave me orders to go to Nam.
You actually told me in your last interview it was the same drill sergeant, right?
It was what?
The same soldier, the same leader, drill sergeant that said oh, it's Beaver. You wanted to go to Nam.
That was when I was in the air wing. My instructor used to always tell me, if you go to Nam, I'll see you back here in this hospital someday, because Navy base they had one of the biggest hospitals. So after I got hit from Nam, I was aboard the hospital ship and stuff, and I got sent back to Memphis I was walking down the hallway one day in the hospital, and I ran into that sergeant. He remembered me. I said, "Hey, Sarge, remember me?" He says, "Yeah, you're Beaver. I told you I'd see you back here someday."
Well, let's get into your career then. So when you went to Vietnam, where were you deployed?
Up north in I Corps.
So you're by the North Vietnamese Army.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It wasn't fun.
Was it?
No. I mean, we were in the shit all the time. And firefights, a couple of weeks.
How did you get there? Like, so how how did they deploy you to that area?
Outfit?
Yeah.
Funny story. When we got off the plane in Da Nang, we went into this big hangar. And there's a gunny stand there. He's standing up on top of this table. And he yells out to everybody, he says, "Well, where does everybody want to go?" And me, like an idiot, said, "I want to go where the action is." And right away he says, "You're going to 3-9. So the next day, we took a Jeep up to our outfit in Quan Tri, and we're waiting to check in with the CO, and there was some guy standing outside his office telling him how they just got in a horseshoe ambush and lost a bunch of guys. And I'm sitting out there with another guy listening to this, and I thought, oh, shit, what did I get myself into?
Yeah, I mean, I think you told me your first day, a guy went down. Is that correct?
Do what?
I think you told me your first day, a guy went down, right?
What do you mean a guy went down?
Like one of your men got killed on your first day.
No. The first day we got on a chopper, and they dropped us off at on top of this hill. It was over in Cambodia where we weren't supposed to be. And it's raining out. Me and this other guy got our poncho covering our weapon. And all of a sudden this guy comes climbing up the hill, and he says, "Take that damn poncho off that weapon, and water ain't going to hurt it." And that's the first day. And
that's a hell of a greeting.
Oh, yeah. And all we did was hump all day long until we get into a firefight. We'd hump, stop, dig a hole, get up in the morning, bury the hole.
When you say hump, do you mean like just
walk?
Walk?
Yeah.
Just walk up the hills, walk on the foliage.
From hill to hill.
That is, and then you would use your e-tool or shovel.
Yeah, e-tool.
Yeah,
use that to dig a fighting hole.
So what would you say the craziest time in Vietnam was for you?
Oh, probably the day I got hit, or the time we got put in for Silver Star.
Yeah,
we had the whole battalion up on line on the DMZ. This was July 9th, 68. And we had a tank with us, and our company had point. We're walking along, and all of a sudden, all shit hit the fan. The tank got hit with a mortar round or an RPG, I don't know, and it was out of commission. We all took off and hit a tree line. And I was the A gunner at the time with the machine gun. So I set up in a crater with the gunner, and everybody's in the tree line. There's this one guy laying out in the open. He got hit and he couldn't move. And Gooks was shooting at him every time he moved. So my squad leader called me and two other guys over. He says, "Let's go get Miller." So we went over there. We got on line and started charging this machine gun nest. We'd run 10, 15 meters and hit the deck, reload magazines, and throw a frag. We finally got close to the machine gun nest. And Wilkie says, "Throw a frag." And the guy says, "I'm out." And he says, "Who's got one?" I said, "I got one." So I pulled it off my belt, and I couldn't get the pin out because we had them bent around the spoon, so they wouldn't come out while we're going through the jungle.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm pulling and pulling. And finally, Wilkie says, "Throw the goddamn frag." So I bit the ends together to straighten it out, pulled it, and threw it. And then we ran in there, and there was a gun there, and somebody shot him. I don't know if it was me or one of the other guys. But then some other guys started running down the hill or down the trail. I started to chase them, and my squad leader told me to get back. He says they'll have an ambush set up. So we went back. They call in a chopper to medevac Miller out and bring us more ammo.
Who is Miller?
He was the guy that was laying out in the middle that couldn't move while we got up and assaulted machine guns.
And were you close with Miller?
Yeah, he was in my squad. Yeah.
Were you say you're squad leader?
Not then, but later on I was.
Okay. Right, continue.
So we got new ammo and reloading our magazines. And I'm sitting there reloading my magazine, and I started shaking like hell. And all of a sudden I looked at Wilkie, my squad leader, and I said, Wilkie, you know those MFers are trying to kill us. And he just started laughing. He says, yeah, you're in Vietnam now, Beaver. And then some guy came up to us and he says, you guys did a good job. He says, you're going to get put in for a Silver Star. Well, big deal. We didn't know what the hell a Silver Star was. And never heard about it, you know. And once I got out, when I was working with the VA, I started writing to find out about it. And nobody could find out anything about it. It wasn't in any of the records. And I finally got a hold of, I think it was the officer that put us in for it. He was a one-star general at the time. And I asked him about it, and he didn't remember it. Nobody remembered it. Even the guys that were there with us, even Miller, the guy that was shot, he don't even remember us doing it. But anyways, this general told me that, he said, right after I got hit, there was a big flood in Quan Tri, and a lot of the records were lost. Well, when I was in the hospital in Memphis, Charlie Brown, he was one of the guys that was with me when we charged a machine gun. It was Wilkie, Charlie Brown, myself, and Deese. While I was in the hospital, Charlie Brown, I ran into him. He got hit after I did, and he was there. Well, some Colonel J.P. Bruce, he was a colonel of the base down there for the Marines. He called me and Charlie Brown in his office and told us all four of us were put in for the Silver Star. So if that order was lost over in Vietnam, they had to know about it because he told us this back in the States.
You told me about this in our first interview, and right now we're live. So, hopefully someone's hearing that can, figure out this situation.
That would be awesome. I mean, I've written letters everywhere to everybody, no response. And I got a friend of mine that just wrote a book. He's pretty sharp. And he wrote a letter for me. And he was going to send it to somebody he knew in D.C., see if they hear anything. But
it's the power of the internet, we can see what happens.
I know. That'd be awesome, man. I mean, the only ones alive now are Deese and I, but still we couldn't.
Tell me, how long were you in Quan Tri? How long were you in Quan Tri before this firefight?
Well, I got to, when I first checked into Quan Tri, that's the only time I was there until I got hit 6 months later.
Okay, so 6 months later,
Yeah.
you got hit. So you were trugging along in the rainforests of Vietnam for 6 months.
Yeah.
Fighting the North Vietnamese army and possibly the Viet Cong.
Right.
That's quite a challenge.
Yeah, it was different.
You once told me that you felt safer there than you do here. Can you explain that?
Well, over there we were in charge of what we were doing. We knew what we were doing. We knew who we were fighting. And here, back here in the States, you never know what the hell's going to happen. You know?
Can you elaborate? Are you talking about like, you know, like
Well, everybody's getting shot nowadays.
yeah,
And you know, you think you carry a weapon, but are you going to use it? Well, yeah, if you have to, but then what's going to happen to you? You know, you're going to go to jail for the rest of your life. But when it comes down to it, you know, rather be judged by 12 than carried by 8.
Yeah, that's a really good perspective.
Yeah.
So I don't remember the story completely, but there was a time where you got hit and you were carried to the helicopter. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And you were telling me that the helicopter or your guys got hit when you were leaving the helicopter. Can you explain that story?
We were trying to take a hill one night, and the NBA were dug in pretty good. So we decided, it was getting dark out, we decided to dig in for the night. So we dug in for the night. Next morning, got up, buried our holes, had some chow, and we had a CP group. So we got together and we were talking, and all of a sudden a mortar round hit on the other side of the CP group. So we all took off running back to our holes. And I'm in my hole with my radio man, Kitten. And I got my helmet on, my flak jacket halfway on. And I stood up, and one of my men, I was a squad leader at the time, one of my men was standing up, and I started yelling at him. About that time, a round went off 3 feet from me. It blew me over on top of my radio man. And all the guys came over. Mortar rounds quit coming, but all the guys came over to see how I was. And I started yelling and screaming, get the hell out of there, because I see a group of guys that are going to drop another round there.
Yeah.
About that time, I passed out. And I was only out for about a minute or two. And my radio man bandaged me all up. And then the corpsman came over and shot me up. It was a morphine. And they took me up to the CP group and called up a chopper to come and medevac me out. We also called in our artillery. And all of a sudden we got 3 short rounds. I don't know. I've heard 3, I've heard 7. I don't know for sure. But we got short rounds, 175, I think it was, that landed right there on top of us. And it killed 7 of my men and wounded 13 of them. So then they medevaced us all out. And then I guess they took me back to the rear in Quantry and operated on me. And then they put me on the USS Repose. Went to the Philippines. I was in the hospital there for a couple of days. And I came back and was in the hospital in Memphis for a couple of months.
I remember you. I literally remember you telling me that, like, when you woke up in the hospital, like, I wanted to go back. And then they're like, no, it doesn't work like that. I don't care. I want to go back. And
I was on the Repose, and all of a sudden I woke up. And this is the first time I woke up since I got hit. She says, why? I said, you know how long it's been since I've seen a round dying? And then the doctor came in. Navy doctor, and he says, I got some good news for you, Marine. I said, what's that, sir? He says, well, we're bandaging you up and putting you back to the world. And I said, excuse my language, sir, but I don't want to go back to the world. I want to go back with my men. You know, we'll see about that. That was it.
So as soon as you get hit in Vietnam, you immediately go back to the States?
Well, if you get hit bad enough, a lot of guys, you know, they get shot and it's not bad, or get hit and it's not bad. But if it's a bad wound, then you go back to the States.
This was a very controversial time too. The Vietnam War. The Vietnam War was, you know, you had the hippies and like the college student at Kent State. Like, did you ever experience any type of like discomfort when you got home?
No, I didn't, because one thing, I didn't get off a plane and walk through the airport and that. I came back to the States in I think it was C-130, I'm not sure, but it was a hospital plane. And so I got off the plane and went right in the hospital, so I didn't go through any of that stuff.
That's good. I'm happy to hear that. That's what I've been asking most of the Vietnam vets here today.
Yeah.
Because that's that's like a shame. Like, honestly, like you guys went over there like unwillingly. Sometimes you went willingly. Some people went unwillingly, and they answered the call of duty, and then they get like spat on. Like, that's just like terrible to hear from you. But I remember during our interview though, that you told me a crazy story with Wilkie, right?
Yeah, he was my squad leader.
He was your squad leader, yes. And you said you were working at the VA, and yeah.
Yeah. I worked for the Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs for 22 years. And I was sitting there one day, and I wasn't really that busy. So I thought I was going to try and get a hold of some of the guys I was with. And I found Wilkie's phone number. Somehow I got his number. I think I don't know. Somehow I got his phone number, and I called him.
Oh, I know how.
And I says,
I know how, Ted. You got the phone number because you were talking to someone in the VA, and they said, I can't give you that phone number. It's confidential. And he was like, are you a Marine? And then he was like, yeah, I'm a Marine. Were you a Marine? He's like, yeah. And you told him like your unit, and he was like, okay, give me a few minutes. And then he gave you the number.
That was a kitten when I was trying to get a hold of Kitten.
Yeah.
Yeah, not Wilkie, but when I was trying to get a hold of Kitten. And he gave me his number when I got home that night from work. I called him up, and his daughter answered the phone. I says, is Mike there? She says, yeah, he's sleeping. I says, wake him up. She said, who is this? I says, tell him it's Ted. So he came to the phone. I says, what the hell are you doing in bed? I said, get your dead ass out of bed and put your uniform on. Let's go. They're bombing Kuwait. And he said, yeah, I was thinking of that. I said, how you doing, Mike? He says, good. And he just starts talking to me. I said, Mike, you know who this is? He says, yeah. And I said, who? He says, Ted so-and-so. I said, no, it ain't. He says, well, who is this? I said, were you in the Marines over now? He says, yeah. We were over there in 68 with 3-9. He says, yeah, who is this? And I says, were you the radio man? He says, God damn it, who is this? I says, did you have a nickname named Kitten? He says, God damn it, is this Beaver? And I almost started crying. We talked for I don't know how long, and he came and visited me a couple of months later.
And you visited him, right?
Well,
in Florida?
No, he was in Cincinnati. He used to keep in touch with him, and then finally one day his wife called me, and he passed away. So I went out there to his funeral.
Well, I'm happy you were able to get a hold of him, because that's one of your men from that you were trying to get a hold of.
Yeah, he was in my squad. He was my radio man, and I ran it when I got out of the hospital from Memphis. I was down in Quantico, and I ran into our platoon sergeant coming out of a bar one night. And he told me right after I left, they got in a big ambush and a bunch of the guys got killed. And I asked him if Kitten was still alive. He said, no, he got it. So all those years, I thought he was dead.
What is this mentality? Like you guys are so stoic when it comes to like death, where like people like freak out about death. Like you're like, no, he got it. No, he died. Like, how did you become more, I guess, like seasoned with that when you got to Vietnam? Like, did it just happen instantly, or like did it take a few people dying for it to become the normal?
What, getting used to it, you mean?
Getting used to people getting like killed, because you say it very nonchalant, you got it, and it could, for other people it could be a lot different,
Well, we were trained that way to start with. I mean, we were taught all through boot camp. When we got out of boot camp, we are going to go to Vietnam and we are going to get killed.
That's
so
what
they trained us for that.
That's what they just told you. You're gonna get killed.
They said 95% of you are going to die over there. So, and we heard that all the time, so we're used to it.
And when it finally happened, it just it was.
Well, it's different over there. Back here, one of your buddies die, you have a hard time accepting it.
Yeah.
Over there, one of the guys get killed. Hey, I'm sorry. See you later. You got to go. And we move on. You don't have time to sit there and cry over it and all this other stuff. I mean, you miss them, yeah, and it hurts, but.
What? Yeah, I can't imagine that. That was one of the things I couldn't imagine. It's like throwing a tourniquet on a guy who lost his leg or anything of that nature. But you went through all that, and I praise you, and I have much respect for you and all you've done. Yeah, man, it's great. It's great to have people around like you who have been through it. And I mean, I can't imagine when you got out of the military. What was that like? Was it just a huge culture shock?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's why most of the guys went back. You get back into the States and it's back to the spit shine and the marching and all this other crap,
Yeah.
Anyway, our job was to go over Vietnam and fight. And that's what we like doing.
And when did you get out of the military?
I got out in 69.
So it's right towards the end of Vietnam War.
Yeah.
Honestly, I every time I talk to you about this, it blows my mind. All this stuff you've been through, and you're just very you're just yeah, that's what it was. It was my job, and that's what I'm gonna do. For all this, so I've been asking this question to most people today, but for everybody who wants to join the military right now, do you have a message for them?
Yeah. Well, first of all, if they want to join the military, that's great. I feel that's our obligation as a man.
Yeah.
And to fight, go and fight or do whatever, join the military and help protect this country. And depending on what you want to do. If you want to be a pilot, go in the Air Force or whatever. I mean, I want to be a grunt. I want to go and fight. That's why I went in the Marine Corps, because the Marine Corps got the best training.
Well, Ted, I'm Army. Remember?
I'm sorry. You know what Army stands for, don't you?
No, I don't.
Ain't really a Marine yet.
Ain't really a Marine yet. You know you're a jarhead.
Yeah.
Grunt. No, it's great having you on again. I honestly, we can talk for hours about this stuff. I love it. I respect the hell out of you and all the things you've done, and I appreciate you giving the message out to the people. Is there anything you would like to say to the people out there?
No, but I'd like to thank you, Max. I mean, what happened to you is just not right. And you do a damn good job in the position you're in. And the stuff you do to help the vets, too. So I want to thank you.
Yeah, I try my best, man. And I try my best to live my life to the fullest, live it to the max. That's why the name of the podcast. Right. And just appreciate you and your service, and I'm sorry you lost your man. I'll take a picture of your car because I know you like wrapped like your car with like all your men.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Ted, thank you guys. If you enjoyed this content, please like, comment, and subscribe, and give it up for Ted Beaver again. I mean, come on, this guy's a legend. And as always, take a breath for me. Thank you.
Thanks, Max. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.
That's what I thought. So see, it's always the trouble.
So I'm gonna say my intro, and then we can get into your story.
Sounds
All right?
good.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of Life to the Max podcast. I'm your host with the most, Max Gross, and today I have Aiden Buttram, a Navy active duty.
Yes.
Navy active duty. What made you want to join the Navy?
Honestly, it had to be because the Navy recruiters got to me first. You know, I was debating which branch I should join during my time at high school, or
Yeah.
even if I should go into the trades. But then one of the Navy recruiters over at the Carpentersville Armed Forces Career Center messaged me. He was like, "Hey, do you want to come in and talk to us about joining the Navy, or take like a practice test or anything like that?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, that sounds good." So kind of
They got me too. The Carpentersville.
Yeah.
They got me too. Those
Yep.
motherfuckers. So I'm guessing you scored pretty good on the SVAB.
Yeah, I got like a 76
Nice.
whenever I went to MEPS to take the exam.
Do you want to know what I got?
What'd you get?
32.
32.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
No, 32 ain't bad. I was infantry, but that was like the only thing I could do. But then I realized I'm just not good at test taking. But so you joined the Navy. The Carpentersville recruiter got you.
Mm-hmm.
Why? The Marine didn't talk to you or anything?
No, I never got hit up by the Marines. guess they just never messaged me or anything like that.
Well, shame on them. So, so what's the Navy like now, or what was the Navy like as far as like going in boot camp, everything?
So the process is pretty simple, right? Once you're at the recruiter's office, and then by the time you leave the recruiter's office to the time you're walking through the doors of Great Lakes, it's not too long and it's not too arduous. Obviously the trip to MEPS and everything like that, the medical exams, the physicals, and then you'll go to the Great Lakes over in Chicago, Navy's only boot camp, right? And it's about their boot camp has changed a little bit. It went from being 8 weeks. Then when I was going through, it was 10 weeks, and now it's back down to 8 weeks. You'll go through qualifications, shooting qualifications. You'll do swimming, firefighting, line handling, and sort of a final exam, almost like a practical. Like you guys have the Crucible in the Marines.
Well, I was a Marine. I was Army.
Sorry.
OSUT, one station unit training. It was for 16 weeks.
Yeah.
Stupid. I hated it. Continue.
So you'll have like this final practical exam called battle stations, and it's like a 24-hour evolution. I'm not really allowed to talk about it because I signed an NDA, but it basically solidifies you as a sailor once you've completed the evolution.
All right, cool. So it's like a field training exercise?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, cool. What was your MOS? What is your MOS?
So I'm an IT, so information systems technician.
Okay.
And we work with like computers, keeping the network systems on ships up and running, managing accounts and things like that.
So I was talking to a girl like a few months, no, like a year ago, and she used to work for a company that helps the Navy with IT stuff. I don't know if that's like true or not. Civilians.
Yep. An MCI, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, like we give like IT help for, not IT help, but IT for the like the ships in San Diego, because that's where she lives. And I was like, no way, that's crazy. Yeah. So what made you want to go into IT?
Well, it wasn't my first pick. So I got to MEPS and I took my exam, and then they gave me a list of jobs after I took my exam. We're like, hey, you can do this, this, and this. And it was all kind of jobs. I was like, yeah, I feel like I could get something better. So I was like, do you have anything, that I would qualify for a little bit higher? So he brought me back a paper and it IT on it. And I was kind of reading through it. And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting, and I was like, I think I want to do this. So
I would never. I couldn't do it. That's so props to you. What entails IT? Just like I really don't know.
Well, I think it's kind of the same across all the branches. I don't know if like the Army has ITs or anything like that.
Probably.
But if you're kind of like shore duty, you're more of like managing like user accounts, managing like all the network systems like printers and stuff like that.
Okay.
And just kind of keeping the internet up and running and stuff like that.
Are you like the police of the internet?
In a way, yeah. I guess you could say that. But IT is kind of, we've been kind of losing a little bit of our jobs as ITs in the Navy because a lot of civilian contractors are coming in and they're kind of taking over our roles as ITs, and like our privileges in my job field are kind of just going down and down.
Are you able to change your MOS if you choose?
Yes, I could do a rating conversion if I wanted to. However, I don't feel like it would be lucrative in my case. I think IT is one of the best jobs in the Navy, and I'm going to keep pursuing it because the opportunities on the civilian side are huge.
Absolutely,
there's a lot of opportunities.
Yeah. Are you on a ship?
No. I'm not on a ship. I'm at a squadron.
Okay.
So I work from shore, and we have a shore, like a home cycle and deployment rotation. So we're at home for a year, and then we'll go on deployment for 6 months.
Deployment? Where do you go?
We have a number of deployment sites. It should be noted that we don't go on ships for our deployments. We fly out to them via aircrafts. But we go to Iceland, we go to the Middle East,
That's awesome. Keep going. Keep going. Sorry.
and Italy. We have a couple spots in Japan as well, Kadena, and I think that's it.
Dude, that's awesome. I only went to freaking Georgia.
Georgia.
In Fort Knox.
Yeah.
That's what, because I was a grunt. I was just training for
Right.
infantry, and then I was gonna like hopefully go to the Ranger Battalion.
Okay.
That was my plan. You ever have you ever thought about being Navy SEAL?
Well, yeah, the thoughts crossed my mind, and I've been asked a couple times, but I see the training they do, and I was like, I don't know if I'm cut out for that type
Come
of
on,
work.
man, it looks like you got some guns on you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. You ever met any?
I have never met a SEAL, no.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, you can still do it if you want to.
It's always a possibility, yeah. I feel like if I was gonna do the full 20 years and stay in, it might be a career possibility that I would think about for sure.
How long have you been?
4 years.
Wow. Did it fly by?
It did, yeah. It feels like just yesterday I was leaving, the recruiting center.
So 4 years, can't drink. You're 21 now,
Yes.
right?
About to be 22.
Man, I can't imagine that. Military. Well, I can't imagine that because I was 19 when I was in the military. So I went right out of high school.
Right.
What is the coolest thing you've seen in the Navy?
The coolest thing I've seen, it would have to be the aircrafts, like the jets taking off on the
Yeah.
flight line. Because our squadron bay that we work in is right on the flight line. So I just kind of get to go out on the flight line every morning and see like the jets taking off, and it's super cool.
Were we talking F-16s?
F-18s.
F-18. Wow.
Yeah. F-18s, and then our squadron is a P-8 squadron.
Dude, that would be so sick. I mean, I was air assault, so I used to just jump out of like helicopters and stuff, and so I went to air assault school, and I would always hear the helicopters. I would think that's cool. Man,
Mhm.
you're like right in front of jets. That's awesome.
It's super cool. I'm very blessed.
Yeah. And that's in
Washington.
Washington
State.
Now.
Mhm.
Washington State.
Yep.
It's beautiful.
It is.
Yeah. So, are you gonna get in 4 years? Are you gonna get out?
Not yet. I'm probably going to do at least another contract or two. They might get me.
Might.
They might. So for ITs, our re-enlistment bonuses can exceed quite a lot of money.
Nice.
If I have this one qualification that I'm going to be going for, a 6-year re-enlistment can take me up to $100,000.
Wow.
So
is that like in full or is it overtime?
So they would pay you half of it up front, and then every year that you re-enlisted for, they would give you an installment for the other half.
What would you do with that money?
Invest.
I like it.
Absolutely.
You want to go buy a Tesla?
No. No.
I don't know, man. Like people your age and my age, I'm 29.
Mm.
So people your age are like crazy now. They're like, if they're out military, like they're like either streaming. Like I saw something the other day where people like stream like live and just do stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And they get famous.
Right.
It's crazy.
It is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
The ways you can make money in today's age.
The world's crazy.
Yeah.
But what's your biggest goal, military and non-military?
My biggest goal in the military would probably be to cap out at the enlisted rank. So probably E9. I'm at E5 right now, so I got 4 more to go. And then from non-military,
What is he? So are you technically a sergeant?
for the Army and the Marines, yeah, I'd be sergeant rank.
Okay, cool. So you instill fear on the people that are under you. No, I'm just kidding.
Ruling with an iron fist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you guys do like disciplinary stuff in the Air Force, or people usually do their job?
No, people usually do their job. Our shop is very small. It's just me and two other coworkers right now. One of them happens to be leaving at the end of January. He's our LPO. He's an E6, so he'll be leaving, and then it'll be my shop.
Wow, it's gonna be yours again. So the goal. I'm sorry I interrupted you. So your military goal is well, it was to tap out at E9,
Mhm.
right? And E9 is what rank is that?
Master Chief.
Master Chief.
Mhm.
Sounds like Halo.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, pretty cool. I got the specialist, so and
Mhm.
then I got a car accident. So you probably know the story a little bit about me, but what's your biggest goal, non-military? Is
It's a really good question. Be a millionaire.
be a millionaire?
Yeah.
Invest well, do good things.
Right.
That's awesome. So you joined 4 years ago. Do you have anything to say to the kids out there or people your age that are like like conflicted on joining the military? Like some words of encouragement?
Absolutely. I would just say take the leap. There's a lot of opportunities out there, and you never know if you don't put yourself out there, right? So
Yeah,
I would just kind of go for it.
that's awesome. Your mom's like my biggest fan, apparently. That's
She
what,
is.
That's what my mom said. So shout out to your mom, Julie Buttram. She was at my benefit,
Mhm.
and this was like 2016. So it was like eight, 8 years, 10,
Almost 10 years ago.
almost 10 years
Yeah.
ago. Wow, time flies.
Right.
But dude, it was great talking to you. I hope you reach your goals. Thank you so much for giving some insight to the people out,
Of course.
to the next generation, if you will. But is there anything you would like to say to the people?
No, just thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to my story, and
Yeah.
I hope to inspire people.
All right, man. Thanks. And if you guys like this comment, please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, take a breath for me because I can't breathe. All right. Good job, man.
Thanks, Max.
Love this shirt.
How you doing, Max?
Hello.
How are you, honey?
Doing good.
It's good to see you.
You too.
Thanks for having us in.
Yeah,
I really
absolutely.
appreciate it. Aiden was excited to come up here.
Yeah, no worries.
And
Okay, I'm gonna.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. I'm gonna say my intro so I can make this an episode on my YouTube channel, and then we'll talk. Okay.
Yeah, okay, man. Whatever.
Sounds good. All right. And welcome back to another episode of Life to the Max podcast. I'm your host with the most, Max Gross, and today I am here with Tom Isbicki. He is a Army veteran. Tom, say hi to the people.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
It's going great for me. It's probably going great for them as well. Tom, tell me, you're part of this VFW, right?
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are.
Senior Vice Commander.
Senior Vice Commander. All right. Well,
Which means really, hey, do this, do that, do
well,
this.
we're about to rewind the clock a little bit.
Oh, boy.
And
Then you found out how old I am.
How old are you?
81.
Oh, wow. All right. Yeah, we're definitely rewinding the clock.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about your childhood. Did you grow up in Illinois?
Yeah, I grew up in the hood, Chicago.
Grew up
Chicago
in
boy.
Chicago boy. I can hear
Went to Catholic grammar school. Got beat up there every day by the nuns, and then I went to regular public high school, and then I got drafted, and then it all was on the roll.
Well, going too fast. Okay, so you got out of high school. Did you enjoy it? Well, you said you got beat by the nuns. So that's pretty.
That was in Catholic school,
That's pretty hot, though. So I mean, like, that's all right, right?
That's how it was, in the city. And you wouldn't go home and tell your dad because he'd beat you up too. So that's how it wasn't,
That's how it was. Yeah. So what made you want to join the military? Oh wait,
I didn't.
It was the draft.
I got drafted.
Okay.
I got drafted. I went in right before Christmas, December of 1965.
Jesus. Okay, so
we weren't even born yet. Half of these people weren't even born. Jesus Christ.
My freaking, I wasn't even my dad's nutsack yet. It was like
easy now. We're on TV.
It's my show. I can say what I want. I mean, no, I'll be respectful. But no, yeah, okay, so 1965 is when you joined.
I got drafted.
You got drafted. What was
December? I remember, because right before Christmas, December 5th. That sucked. So what are you gonna do? I got on the bus with all these other guys, and they flew us down to the nicest place in the world.
What was
Fort Polk, Louisiana?
Yeah, that place.
Hillbillies, dumb people. Oh, God.
What was your mindset when you got drafted? Were you like, oh crap?
Well,
or did you?
I had all my uncles were in the Army, Navy, Coast Marines, and if I didn't go in the service, it wouldn't be good for me.
Wouldn't be good. So it's good you got drafted.
That's it. I said, I'm out of here. That's it.
And you went to the beautiful island of Fort Polk.
Fort Polk, all I remember, 55-second showers, just unbelievable.
But that's where your boot camp was, Fort Polk?
Fort Polk, yeah.
Oh my God.
Nice place.
I went there once for training. It was terrible.
Terrible. Unbelievable.
I can't imagine, like 1965 Fort Polk.
Oh, yeah. It was quite a vacation down there. Then they transferred me after that. I went to AIT up in Fort Lewis, Washington.
What was your job at MOS?
11 Bravo 20, infantry
all the way.
Helicopter. I got hooked up. We were with the forts, and we were hooked up with mechanized helicopter assaults. All we did.
Nice.
And then we thought we were going to Germany, but you don't go for jungle training for Germany.
All right,
and that was it. Next thing I know, I'm in Vietnam.
And
20 years old.
Where were you in Vietnam?
I was in Cu Chi. I was in Tay Ninh. I was in Dao Tiang.
These
are all different base camps.
South or north of Vietnam?
South.
So you had to deal with the Viet Cong.
Oh man, yeah, all the time.
When you got to Vietnam, obviously, it's probably a plane ride. Go to Germany, I believe.
Yeah, we thought we were going to the other place.
have a party in there. Wrong.
It's,
Wrong.
so when you got to Vietnam, what was the culture shock like?
Was the what?
Culture shock.
Culture, unbelievable. This first time when I got there, it smells. I go, what? All those guys go, what's the smell? These people shit in the street. You know, they had no time to go, what am I doing here, man? Then there's on and on. You get used to all that stuff, you know.
Yeah. And you embrace the suck, which is a terrible thing.
Hey, then you got to know those people hate us and we hate them, and that's the way it went.
Yeah. What was one of the defining moments you had in Vietnam?
Oh, there's so many. I'd have to write a book,
There you go.
but I ain't gonna write no book.
Tell me
Just
something. You can
ambush patrols, everything. Dropped us in helicopters, and it was right in the middle of I'll never forget a banana plantation. Tarantulas crawling on us, red ants down our back. We're going, what in the F are we doing here, man? But that's it. It was every day was a new adventure.
Every day.
Then they got me a couple times. I got shrapnel in here, shrapnel in here.
Geez.
2 Purple Hearts.
Well,
but no big deal. It ain't nothing.
Well, thank you for your service, man. That's what did that feel like when it happened? Was it just like a blur?
No, I said, what the F, you know? And then what you call it, mostly it burned. Stuff like that. Another bad job was burning shit. You know, that's another terrible.
What? Holy crap!
You didn't do that, man?
No, man.
I always did that in Vietnam, you know, when you were in base camp, because there was no toilets. We had this board with 6 holes in it and 55-gallon drums cut in half. And they put diesel fuel in there, and everybody had diarrhea because they had malaria pills. And so just normal.
Jesus.
That's just part of it, you know.
That's just you going into the surface. Like you're on ship patrol.
And when I go back tomorrow.
So you would?
Yeah, I don't care.
All right. So the ambushes, all this stuff against mostly the Viet Cong, I would expect.
Viet Cong were tough little guys, man. I'll tell you.
How do you? I don't know how I would deal with that, like a person like you're trying to find the enemy, but they're all dressed up like civilians.
Couldn't see them. They were always in tunnels all the time, coming to these villages, and they all women and kids, no men. They're all hiding in tunnels, waiting to pick us off and stuff like that every day.
What was the toughest thing you probably saw in your first years of the military?
There were a lot of them. Sui Tre was our big firefight. I think we killed one morning was 600. We had something. We were supposed to be a blackened force. There was a whole book about us, what we did with just the 4th with our. But we caught them in an open field, and you never do that. They're always in the jungle, but they had to get across, I guess, and they fell right in our hands, and boom, that was it. That was a good morning. Our lieutenant was very happy. Good, keep up the good work. Keep up the good work, and we did.
I have so much respect for you because, like, when I joined the military, it's so different now. Like,
now, when I was in Fort Polk, if I ever said to my DI, we need a timeout, that would be the end of it. Timeout, all right. Get the shit beat out of you.
No, I know. Like, I can't imagine. How long were you in the military for?
2 years.
2 years. Mm-hmm. So your tenure was 2 years, and then
1 year, 1 year stateside, 1 year in the Grand Jungle.
1 year in Nam, and you were part of one of the most significant battles.
A lot of them. A lot of them. Nothing to brag about. We did what we had to do, and I still keep in touch with my lieutenant. I just got a Christmas card from him, Lieutenant Mike. Tough guy, Army Ranger. Wow. My father is number 1. He's number 2.
That's why that was my goal, is to be an Army Ranger and go to the Ranger Battalion. That's what I wanted to do, because I was I was just basically cleaning up stuff. So basically, I was on shit duty, but your shit duty was way worse than my shit duty.
You had to burn it. I had to burn it. That
You had to burn it.
stuff smelled terrible. But what are you gonna do?
Well,
It's part of the hey. You gotta do it. You do what you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. It seems like you did that.
Then you come home and everybody's giving us the finger and we're baby killers and all this bullshit. We took care of we took care of a couple. We took care of a couple of them. Trust me.
I was just about to ask that. Like, what was like the homecoming like?
When I came home and everything back to normal, I got a job driving. Oh, I worked for the railroad first, and then I went to get a job driving a semi, and I did that for 40 years. And here I am.
Here you are.
Happy camper, man. New Year's Eve every day.
Did you enjoy coming back and like getting like realizing, wow, this is real freedom when you were when you came home?
Oh, that's unbelievable. From there to here, it's like, oh my God, these people have no idea.
Night and day.
They have no night and day.
There's the perspective of like Vietnam compared to like 1970s of the United States.
Yeah, it's great. I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah,
So, and then whatever I can do to help our country, I'll do it right away. That's why I'm here.
That's why I'm here. I want to get the stories out of the vets. I feel like it's just like the right thing to do.
Basically, we'd go on patrols almost every daytime, ambush patrols at night, ambush patrols, and stuff like that. That was always automatic. We'd have 2 machine gunners, 2 grenade launchers, riflemen, and a Prick 25 radio always.
That's
and that would be it.
Intense.
Go on patrol. That was our thing. Search and destroy missions every day.
What was your favorite moment during that time then?
What's my favorite time?
With your
when I went an hour.
Rest and repair. What's R&R stand for again?
Huh?
What does R&R stand for?
Rest and relaxation.
Rest and relax.
In Taiwan, Taipei. Oh boy.
Beautiful.
It's a good time.
Good time.
That was only 4 days. They send you there, come back. That's like your little break in the action.
You did quite a lot for 1 year. That's impressive, man.
Oh, hey.
And you're like, nah, it's just like
Hey,
you're simple Chicago, and you got the Chicago.
And I
accent.
still see there's 4 of us left, and we all hook up together about once a month and a half at the Moretti's, and we all have beers and drinks. We're still nuts, you know.
That is beautiful. And you guys are probably like, you guys are probably like, do you remember that time where we did this and this and this and then?
Oh yeah, we always talk about it. Remember? You remember we did this? Or you remember we did this? And
now we're eating nice pizza or chicken.
Pizza, sea rations.
No, I'm talking about Moretti's.
Oh, Moretti's. Oh yeah.
Yeah. You meet up at Moretti's,
and we do some drinking and stuff like that, and all good, man.
That's amazing, man. Well, I'm happy I was able to interview you. I've heard of you, and I've heard of your son. I know Rex and them are good friends. I have seen you around, I'm pretty sure, but it was nice to like.
I see him at Port Edwards.
Me?
I see Rex sometimes at the port.
Yeah, he's always at Port Edwards. So is my dad. My dad is a freaking,
that good-looking stud over there.
It's a freaking squid. Squid. It's because he's always in the water. That's why I said. What are they called? Boat rats, boat rats, or water rats, or river rats. That's what they are. Yeah.
I had boats, many of them. So now I'm too old. Now I just party every day.
Party? Well, I mean, you're probably retired. So
oh yeah.
You've been partying since retired. But you were partying. Did you ever party in Vietnam?
A few times.
Good times.
We had never had time to, because I was we were there in the beginning, and it was the worst time in the world in the 60s. We're the first ones there, and we always got the shit beat out of us all the time. So no big deal,
I love the nonchalant Chicago accent. No big deal. It's fine. I got it. It's cool. And then I get to California. I got to deal with this. But come back.
California. Don't talk about California.
I mean, we're up there with California. That's not the
Yeah.
greatest thing. but,
California. No,
Yeah,
bad taste when I was there.
that's
I
good.
hope it falls in the ocean. Be
Ooh.
good food.
So
Yeah.
for all the people I've been asking, that's the Salte. For all the people that are listening right now and will listen in the future, do you have any advice for anybody who wants to join the military?
Do it, man. Just go in the Air Force or the Navy.
That's what I say.
Go in the Air Force or
I went
Navy.
to the Air Force. No, I saw my friend on my friend on Facebook, and he had a story of food, his cafeteria food, and he gets to choose what he wants to eat, and I'm just like, what? I'm like, I joined the wrong branch because I was Army. It's Army. Yeah. Well, hey man, I appreciate you so much for coming on the show.
That's okay. I got to get over. My beer's getting warm over there.
That's exactly.
Talk to you, brother.
Yeah, talk to you.
I'll see ya.
For everybody listening, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, Mike, for joining the show. And as always, take a breath for me because I can't breathe. All right, thanks, man.
Hope I was okay.
All right, I'm gonna say an intro, and then we'll go live and talk again.
Very good.
All right, and welcome back to another episode of Life to the Max podcast. I'm your host with the most, Max Gross, and today I am here with Art. We are at the VFW interviewing veterans today, and Art, say hi to the people.
Hi, everybody.
So, Art, how do you know me?
Basically, through your mom, Wendy, we met at the American Legion in Huntley, where I live, and I've seen her down here over time.
Okay.
And my niece actually sent me a link to this episode today. So
That's amazing.
that's why I'm here.
Yeah, and I heard you ride motorcycles in the 4th of July parade.
Yes, been riding motorcycles for over 50 years.
That's awesome. Well, let's get straight into it, man. What made you want to join the Navy?
Well, the Navy in particular.
Military.
Yeah. Well, when I graduated in '69, as everybody knows, Vietnam was pretty heavy.
Yeah.
I had no interest in going there. My uncle was in the Navy. I followed suit. You know, I looked at that either Navy or Air Force. I decided on the Navy, see the world.
It's incredible. It's just like when I first joined the military and I heard like people in the Navy, like even back then, I'm like, people in the Navy. But I see like World War II footage of Navy, like in like the Battle of Midway, all the island hopping going on, and I just thought it was incredible that these Navy seamen are like doing this alive in 1940. It's just incredible. And you joined in 1970.
1970, yeah.
1970. So how did that go? You went to boot camp?
Great Lakes. I went to Great Lakes for boot camp and school, both electrician school and motion projector operator school.
Okay.
And then I was stationed out of Newport, Rhode Island on a destroyer.
So you were on a destroyer?
Yeah, 3 years on a destroyer.
Holy. Explain that.
It's pretty much over one wave and under two.
Is it like a colony, like when you're on there?
It's very close knit.
Like,
very close knit.
Like a community?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
There's under 200 people on ship.
So, like, it's not like an aircraft carrier.
Nowhere near.
Have you ever been on an aircraft?
No. We work alongside of them, but never been on a carrier.
So you went on a destroyer, and it says you went overseas.
Yeah, I spent 2 tours in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, 7 months in the Mediterranean. I crossed the equator on Pearl Harbor Day of '73 and was initiated into the shellback on our way to the Indian Ocean.
Dude, that's awesome. So you definitely got to travel. What was Guantanamo Bay like back then?
Yeah, it's a big hot rock. That's about all it is.
But, it's a hot rock?
Yeah, it's just a rock. The base is. I mean, we were down there just doing training all day, for like six to 8 weeks.
What was your job again? Motion picture?
Well, I was electrician, shipboard electrician.
Okay.
But I also went to motion projector operator school, which allowed me to learn how to show films like they used to do in the cinemas, where you have 2 projectors set up.
Right.
And how to maintain the films, repair them, and plus you get to pick out the movies. So
what's your favorite movie you would watch?
Oh, I don't know. It's whatever was in the commissary that you could rent out. One of my favorites was an old horror movie called Let's Scare Jessica to Death.
Let's Scare Jessica to Death. Guys, watch Let's Scare Jessica to Death. We're live. Like, just to remember art, and I thought that would be funny, like, to have people watch an older movie. So what was your favorite place you traveled to?
Boy, that's hard to say.
Mediterranean.
The Mediterranean for sure. We spent 7 months there. Probably the ruins of Pompeii. It really intrigued me. I was actually in Mount Vesuvius and in the ruins.
Where was I? Where is that?
In Pompeii.
Pompeii.
It was buried with ash from Mount Vesuvius.
Okay. I am a history buff and I don't know anything about this.
Really? They're actually doing some major excavation there now, uncovering what Pompeii was like.
Can you explain what Pompeii is?
Pompeii is, I believe, in Greece. It was an ancient village, very sophisticated village, that when Mount Vesuvius erupted, it covered it in several feet of ash. And people actually, as they've uncovered them, were preserved as they were moving and died.
You learn something new every day. That's
pretty intriguing place.
I'm definitely gonna look that up. So, how long were you in the military? Art?
4 years active.
4 years active. And then you get back 1974.
January 74.
What was the homecoming like?
It was not very pretty. No. Again, it was still Vietnam was going on pretty much, and
It was a very controversial time.
very controversial time. Yeah. So
Is this when Nixon stepped down as well?
I'm sorry.
Is this when Nixon stepped down?
No, I don't believe so.
So you're commander in chief. The president at the time, was it Nixon?
Yeah, I don't honestly remember.
That's good.
I just kind of came back home and slipped back into society.
What was it? Yeah, and I've been asking people that was it hard to get back in society? I've been asking grunts that you were in the Navy. Was it different?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it was much different from other friends that I've had that were in, Marines and Army.
Yeah.
None of it was very welcoming. But I had a good group of friends back here.
Yeah.
Fell back into the work life, and because I went from high school to Navy.
Yeah, me too. That was Army, high school,
Yeah.
Army. Yeah, that's and you didn't get drafted, right?
I didn't want to wait around to get drafted. I wanted to make decisions for myself.
That's smart. Yeah, I like that. So you got to travel all these places: Guantanamo Bay, the Rock,
Yeah,
as you say, and then the Mediterranean,
Indian Ocean. Yep.
So I'm reading this book right now. It's called 1493, and they're talking about how when Christopher Columbus discovered the New World, and they were talking about how they didn't want to go around Africa to get to the Indian Ocean. So I just find it fascinating that you were in all those areas, like the Philippines, probably.
Well, kind of followed suit. Like I said, joined the Navy, see the world, and I've been to places I'll never have the opportunity to go to again, probably. So,
have you ever met any Navy SEALs?
No, I don't believe so.
No. Well, what was your proudest moment in the military?
My proudest moment. Wow. I don't know. I think graduating from school up at Great Lakes with my parents and family around.
Yeah, that was one of mine too. And when I was in Fort Benning, Georgia, they do something called the Blue Cord ceremony. You're probably familiar with that. It's for infantry, and you get to you ask someone to put a cord on you, and I asked my dad to put the cord on me, and it's just I felt very proud of myself for graduating basic training and going on to the next adventure, because I was my goal was to go to the Ranger Battalion and then get out of the line duties and probably do 20 years. That was my goal.
That was your goal?
Yeah, but God has different plans for us. But I'm super happy you got to see the world, man. That's awesome. And I imagine that's the same way it is now. Yeah.
I've got I've got two nephews that are still one in the Navy and one is a major in the Army.
Major in the Army?
Yeah. He picked up a Silver Star in Afghanistan.
Well, shout out to him. What's his name? See a lot. Yeah.
Mine goes blank sometimes in front of the camera. Boy, put me on the spot, Max. His name is Alex.
Alex, shout out to Alex the Major. Very good.
Yeah.
Silver Star, you said?
Silver, actually bronze. I'm sorry, bronze.
Bronze Star.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. Well, it sounds like you enjoyed the military. I mean, you're here at the VFW with me today. There's and if you hear that, guys out there, if you're listening, there's a world beyond this if you just join the Navy. join the Navy, go see the world,
Yeah.
enjoy it.
I have no regrets of it at all.
That's awesome. Is there anything you would like to say to the people out there?
You know, joining the military, be it peacetime or wartime, is a very good thing to do for your future. It gives you basic skills, discipline, opportunities for education. It helps advance you once you do get into the workforce. Trust me, in my job as a manager and a hiring person, I looked at people that were in the service and their backgrounds and gave them a more favorable opportunity.
Well, Art, thank you so much for being on the podcast. Thank you for your service. And as always, guys, if you like this content, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. As always, take a breath for me. Thanks so much. Thanks,
Yeah.
Art. It was,
Max, it's been a pleasure.
yeah, you too, man. That was good. Good job. start. I'm gonna say intro, and we can talk about your service and everything. You excited?
Kind of boring. Not really.
Randy Brockmeyer.
It is.
Randy Brockmeyer. Okay. And welcome back to another episode of Life to the Max podcast. I'm your host with the most, Max Gross, and today we are live at the VFW, and I have the pleasure to speak to Randy Brockmeyer, another Army veteran. And Randy, say hi to the people.
Hello.
Oh,
Glad to be here.
So, what made you? What year did you join the military?
I joined the reserves in 74, went active in March of 75.
All right. Why? Okay. All right. I like this. So the reserves in 74. Why'd you go active?
In those days, mainly get away from home.
100%. So did you get to travel all over the place?
I did.
What was okay? Let me circle back. I just thought it was crazy you went reserve to active. That's the first time I've heard that. Because usually it's active to reserve.
No, I was technically reserved for about 6 months.
So what was basic training like? Where was it?
I went to Fort Dix, New Jersey.
Okay.
Which not really there anymore. I think it's Joint Base Dix McGuire or something. But it was a wake up call. Definitely far different than growing up a little kid in Dundee, Illinois.
So when I went in 2014, I don't remember the last 3 weeks. The first 3 weeks. I'm sorry, I don't remember the first 3 weeks because they were always yelling in my face.
That's what it was all about for 8 weeks.
And I was like, "Oh, I'm joining the Army. I'm not going to get yelled in my face." No. So you got yelled in the face. Did you ever shoot? That's actually a question I should have been asking the vets. Did you ever shoot a weapon before you went to the military?
Absolutely. My dad was a big handgun hobbyist, NRA member.
Okay. Did they like the way you shoot in the military?
No, they teach you the way they shoot.
Yes. I heard from multiple people that they like soldiers that come in that have never like shot a weapon before because they want you to shoot the way they shoot.
Yeah. They definitely they teach you their way.
So you graduated in 1974.
I graduated high school early. I was with the class of 76, but I graduated in 75.
No, I was graduating boot camp.
May, I believe, 76.
May of 76, graduated boot camp, going to the reserves. What was your MOS, your job?
05 Bravo.
And explain to the people what that is.
It's a Army security agency. It was a cryptologic intercept operator.
I need some more. What like are you like
radio monitoring different countries?
That's awesome. That's super cool. And in the reserves, like, did you just go for the weekend?
I didn't.
You didn't?
I signed up. I didn't do anything till I went to basic, and at basic, I signed for active. So
at basic, you signed for active because you wanted
right
to
away
get out of Dundee.
Right.
Go explore the world. Where was your first place you were stationed or deployed?
AIT was in Fort Devens, Massachusetts, which also doesn't exist. And I was there till October of 76. October, I went to Misawa Air Base, Japan.
What was the culture shock like from Japan to here?
It was different.
What were the women like?
I liked it, Young guy on your own,
Yeah. So, I'll get serious again. So you go over there for
cryptologic intercept operator.
Cryptologic intercept operator. It's the first I've ever heard of that.
They don't do it anymore. It's all CIA and.
Okay, so it's like some like espionage type stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
Is that what you're trying to say? Okay, so how was Japan? Was it nice? You enjoyed it?
No, very expensive, middle of nowhere. I mean, we were out there in the boonies.
Okay. Did you? Was there anything particular in Japan that you did, or were you just there for like a year and then you left?
I was there 2 years.
There 2 years. Okay. Where does the next place you go to?
Misawa Air Base, and then I went down to Camp Zama, the headquarters, which is closer to Tokyo.
So still in Japan, and still expensive, I'm guessing.
But at least down by Tokyo was a lot more fun. There was a lot more to do. It was a lot. I had a lot of fun actually the second year.
That's awesome. So you got to enjoy yourself. Probably hang out with the boys, the soldiers, go out for some drinks. Was there curfew like there was in Korea?
No.
There wasn't?
Now, I did go TDY to Korea, and they had the curfew. You know, you had to be in by midnight.
Otherwise, you're
either holed up somewhere or you had to be on base.
Yeah.
And be in the bars after midnight.
What was the biggest mistake you've seen a soldier do?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, just being stupid is.
That's what we are. We're stupid.
So I mean, I was only 17 when I went in, so I didn't.
Wait, you were 17 when you were in?
Mm-hmm. I didn't turn 18 till a month before I left for Japan. So I was always the youngest.
Is that allowed?
Absolutely.
Is it allowed now?
I think so. Sure. Parents have to sign you in, but.
You went to boot camp at 17?
Absolutely.
Whoa, I don't know about that. I don't think that's allowed. That's pretty cool though. That's pretty cool. So you spent a lot of time over in Japan. Enjoyed Tokyo for a little bit. What was a fun moment in the military for you?
Just with your friends, a lot of camaraderie. You meet a lot of people. You do a lot of things.
Yeah.
I don't see or talk to any of them anymore, but most of them are probably dead.
Well, yeah, that's a tough thing. When you left Japan, was that the end of your service?
No, they sent me to the recruiting command, which was then right here at Fort Sheridan, Illinois.
So you were a recruiter?
I worked at a recruiting office. I wasn't a recruiter. I just had like 3 months to kill before my.
Do recruiters make commission?
Not in those days, not per se. They got so many points for each recruit.
Okay.
And they had a minimum amount, and the better the recruit, the more points they would get.
Because when I joined the military, I had a very good PT score, decent ASVAB score, and everyone wanted me. The Marines wanted me, the Navy wanted me, Air Force wanted me, and the Army wanted me, and I chose the Army because they told me that they'll always have my back or whatever, and I guess they were right. The guy totally lied to me about like, oh yeah, it makes trains a breeze, just go through it, nothing crazy, you're not gonna get yelled at. Good. And I was like, okay, cool. So get there, get yelled at.
I don't think I even would have believed that then at 17.
I was kind of not the smartest fool in the shed. so it was a learning experience for sure.
It was definitely an awakening.
Yeah. So you come here for 3 months in a recruiting station, but you're not a recruiter. Recruiting station.
I just did filing, odd jobs.
What year is this?
That would have been 79.
79. And you get out. What was it like? Was it a shock getting out of the military? I've been asking vets that all day to like when you get out of the military, like go back to civilization, go back to like being a civilian or that. What was that like?
I think the biggest change is you're gone for 2 years, a little over 2 years since I'd been here. And a lot of things change here in 2 years, but you still remember it like the day you left.
Right.
So a lot of friends move, change. A lot of them went away to college. I started college as soon as I got back. So
With the GI Bill?
absolutely.
Yeah. What'd you go for?
I started with accounting and I transferred to computer science.
I imagine you did transfer to computer science.
So I had a good career.
Wait, computer science, you and this is in 80, 79, 19.
79, 80.
This is like the beginning, like the dinosaur ages of computers, right?
All mainframe when I first started.
Did you work with Macintoshes or did
Not
you
at all.
work with Windows?
All IBM stuff in those days. Windows didn't exist yet.
Windows, okay. So can you kind of go into that a little bit? Like the dinosaur, like the freaking prehistoric age of the Paleolithic age of
Everything was either on computer tape or punch card when I started.
and was there a mouse?
Nope.
No mouse.
Nope.
So you, wow, I can't imagine that. And everyone like, so I always I've asked this question to a few people actually. Like, did you ever think you would have a computer in your hand?
Never. Never. They were huge. Even just you wouldn't even think you'd have a home computer in those days.
And then fast forward to this age, you got like the palm of your hand.
Everything's changed.
Everything. You can reach out to somebody in Tokyo. Back then, you had to like write letters. Was your family okay with you joining the military?
Yeah, they signed. So
that's awesome, man.
good for them. Good for me.
You got shitty time in Japan, and you got a really good time in Japan.
Kind of.
You know, and you probably were getting paid a little more when you're second.
Right.
So you're probably enjoying yourself. I appreciate you being on the show, man. I've been asking people today for the future generation if there's any advice you would give them to people who want to join the military. Is there anything you would want to say?
Oh, I think it's a very, even to this day, a very good opportunity. There's always risk with anything, but it's worth it.
It's worth it. All right.
There's education opportunities when you're out. You'll learn, you'll grow. I don't know anybody that went in that doesn't regret it, or that regrets doing it and didn't grow from it.
What I love about it is the foundation. You create discipline.
Absolutely.
You know, like you're disciplined. Like that's like the best thing to me. I feel like everyone should join the military or should be in the military at least a year and just be disciplinary and like learn discipline and learn how to hold a weapon and stuff. But unfortunately, that's not how the world works. But I appreciate you so much for being on the podcast.
Max, I appreciate it. I love being here.
And for everybody watching, please like, comment, and subscribe. And take a breath from me because I can't breathe, guys. Thanks. Hot mic.
And here's Max.
Hot mic. Guys, so the reason why I'm saying take a breath for me, and the reason why I've always said take a breath for me is because I can't breathe. And I've said that like today because some people don't understand it. But take a breath for me is also a double entendre. It's take a breath for me because I can't breathe. And it's also take a breath for me because or take a breath for me if you're having a hard day. Just take a breath.
Because it could be worse.
Because it could be worse. Yeah, that's it. All right, you can put me
Stand
on.
by.
Stand by.
I'm sorry you didn't get to serve overseas.
Oh, that's
It's
okay.
always an honor to be able to do that, and I wish you could have been able to do that.
Well, I really appreciate that, man. I had some great leaders, and I was planning to go to the Ranger Battalion.
Ah.
That was my goal. And this was in 2015. So this is way after you. But that was my goal. But now God has different plans. So I started this show and I was like, let's it could always be worse,
Yeah, anything can always be worse, but it's always gonna be better.
There we go. I
Yeah.
like that.
It's just, life is about living, enjoying, and doing, if you can, what you can.
Exactly.
And that gives you pleasure.
What year did you join?
I didn't hear that.
What year did you join?
Yes. So what year did you join the military?
I went in 1967. Yeah, it's a few years ago.
A few.
Yeah, it's only 58 years. And that's
Did you so you went did you go to Vietnam?
yeah. I was in Vietnam for 2 years. I was a medic with the 82nd Airborne, and I spent my life out in the field, living in the dirt and the rain and the heat. Loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
With your brothers, just brothers in arms. I have a lot of respect for you for doing that.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I wish that you could have been able to do the same thing. It's an experience that you never forget. And I wish you had that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
What was your proudest moment in the military?
Yeah.
What was your proudest moment in the military?
Well, not initially, but it was after I got in. Then I joined the Airborne to qualify, and that extended me for another year.
Right on, but you joined the wrong Airborne, man. I'm the 101st.
Airborne is the best. I know the Marine over here that doesn't like that, but
Airborne is the best. So, how long were you in?
2 years.
2 years. And
Yeah.
when you got home, how was your homecoming?
Poor.
Wasn't good.
Yeah, it was not good. First thing that happened is I got spit on in the San Francisco airport by a skinhead.
Oh.
And I damn near killed him.
As you should. What was it like going back?
Yeah.
What was it like leaving the military?
Yeah, I was done with it after those years. I didn't want to do it anymore. As medics, it's a little hard. You see your buddies and your friends, and you see them get wounded, and you see them hurt and really bad, and you gotta blank that from your mind and treat them as best you can. And that was the hardest part of being there, was seeing your buddies go down and have to work on them and keep your head clear.
I can't imagine.
Yeah. Well, I can't imagine how how you feel when you got hurt and you wanted to serve forever.
It was tough, but I understand how the world works. You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot. The world is about suffering, but that suffering turns into happiness sometimes.
Yeah. I get that. It and you can't let the suffering get to you. You always have to be positive like you are.
I appreciate that, man. You gotta be
Yeah.
positive like you too.
You just keep going.
I can't. I was gonna ask what the toughest thing you did in the military was, and you kind of answered my question. It was treating your friends after when they went down.
Yeah.
And just thank you for your service for doing that. Like I don't know if I could do it. I mean I would have
Oh.
I would have to do it.
I'm sure that you could have.
Like
You know, it's in their character.
yeah, like you just turn a switch on, and then you're like, I gotta put a tourniquet on my buddy.
Yeah.
Well, when you got out of the army, what was your plan?
Oh, I had so many of them when I was over there. They kept rotating guys out, and so somebody would come in and they'd be a new friend. The hardest one was the guy I went to airborne school with, and we were up on the border, and he got hit with a grenade, and it tore up his legs like crazy. I ran out of bandages to keep him from bleeding, but at the end of that, when it was done and the chopper was coming in, I said to him, "You're going home, buddy." And he smiled, and then we grabbed him and put him on a chopper, and he went to Japan and then Germany, and then he went home to Boston.
I'm like shocked because I don't know how that feels like, but like I'm happy you did your duty, even though it was extremely tough.
Yeah, it's mentally, it wears you down, but you have to always be positive and just keep going. You know that.
Yes, absolutely. Is there so throughout your are you so you're happy you joined the military?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't be me now if I hadn't gone in. I wouldn't have learned all those things about life. It just, yeah, I relish it, and that's why I come here all the time, to be with the rest of us guys who survived.
I mean, just hearing that like brings chills to me because like survive, just people who survive. Like my generation doesn't know that struggle. We see stuff on the news and we don't know the struggle. of Vietnam, World War II, Korean. We don't know it, and I'm honored and blessed to be able to talk to you today, man.
Oh, I'm not sure I can answer that. I tend to get emotional about some of these things. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be pretty much done. But thank you, Max.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. I'm like so happy you're here. It's 5. You can hang out with your buddies, VFW, drink some beers. I'm sorry if I'm talking too fast. Guys, if you enjoyed this content, please like it and subscribe. Subscribe to hear more stories like this guy. This guy's great. Then thank you so much for being on the podcast.
I've enjoyed your company. You're a winner.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
And welcome back to another episode of Life to the Max podcast. I'm your host with the most, Max Gross, and today I am here with Rico Rodriguez.
Thank you, sir.
His name is Rico. He's got a great story for Rico. You want to explain that?
So when I got out of the schoolhouse, they in-docked me into I got my orders for an infantry unit as a logistician. So pretty much we work alongside like those red patchers, and then we're the guys that coordinate like everything that go together. Well, unfortunately, I got paired up with my NCO, who's a red patcher, and he's from like Otucky kind of area. So he just came up to me and he's like, I went through the schoolhouse with a guy named Rodriguez. We all just named him Rico. And I was like, so it kind of stuck from there. I lost like Rodriguez. I lost everything. They're just like, I'm always looking for Corporal Rico. And then they would get messed up from my name tape being Rodriguez.
Nice. Okay. So, how old are you, man?
So I'm 29.
I'm 29.
There we go.
Same age. Yeah, about to hit 30. It's a little scary.
30?
I'm about to hit 30 in March.
You're 96?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming, man.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's
I know. I
It's a
see
little
it.
freaky, man.
Well, I mean, I kind of like it. I mean, I feel like the 30s is like where we hit like your prime. Like that's where you're getting out, you're doing the most. Like,
Yeah.
you've already been through like the gauntlet of like you had like the party phase, you had like the hangout phase, so you kind of like know what you're going to do, and then you got like your good basis of friends, like your tribe.
Oh yeah,
So
100%. So well, let's rewind the clock. All right. So you joined the military. You joined the Marine Corps, right?
correct.
Was that right after high school?
Right after high school.
Me too, but I joined the Army. All right, we're gonna keep going.
Oh, okay.
Where'd you go? Were you a Hollywood Marine?
I am a Hollywood Marine,
Oh,
and they put me on the East Coast. So it was
why
like,
would they do that?
I don't. So
The
I guess
women, the
I-
women in California.
I missed out. I really did. I really missed out. It's okay because like I got to learn how to like line dance and stuff like that down at the like the honky tonk bars.
Southern Belle.
Yeah, it was like the Southern Bells. It was like, all right, I found out what grits were. So I was like, yeah. So
How is boot camp? Like explain it a little bit. Like crucible, everything.
so boot camp for me, I tried to stay under the radar, and I failed epically. So second week I came out.
Too.
They got me. And I got caught by the worst kill hat, which inevitably he became like my favorite near the end. At the Crucible, he was like, hey, you made it through. I like jacked up my leg. I had a hairline fracture in my shin bone, and I never went to med platoon because I didn't want to drop out and lose my contract. So, or get like fapped out to be like a cook or something else.
Yeah.
So I boot camp was like rough once they like I got made. And then they were like, okay, recruit Rodriguez. So I was like the house rat. I was always getting picked out for like all the extra duties. I think they made me like a witch doctor one time.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to high school I started at Jacobs. I went to Richmond Burton. I went to go live with an aunt and uncle. And then I went back to Jacobs and then graduated out of Stevenson. So I traveled.
Okay. Did Carpentersville get you?
Carpentersville?
Yeah.
No, they did not. I did not out of Carpentersville. I didn't go.
Your recruiting stations?
No, I think it was RSS Lake County when I was in Buffalo Grove going to Stevenson.
Okay, I thought like the same because I was gonna join the Marine Corps. I was, but they said you're gonna have to be a cook, and I'm like, I'm not doing that.
No dice.
No, I was like, I'm 11 Bravo through and through. Grunt. That's what I want to do.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
right? Like so. I was like, going to the Army. I was like, hey man, where do I blow stuff up? And then he's like, sign right here. And he's like, and I was really good at PT. I got my 2 mile was like the best out of it. Like their people, like I don't remember, but they were like super stoked. They're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get points for this one. Like and he's like, oh yeah, they're not gonna yell at you. It's gonna be great. You're gonna enjoy it. Got there, dude. Like when you get to boot camp and you see every cue ball head, like and for me it was in Georgia, Fort Benning.
Okay. All right.
It was hot, and then it got cold.
Okay. So you had like a cross between the both. They were like,
Yeah.
and were you in squad base?
I was in OSUD, one station unit training. So it's basically red phase, white phase, blue phase, black phase, which is AIT, and then gold phase, which is basically cleaning everything.
Oh, so there's like the working party that they throw in there, and
Yeah.
pretty much they got us too.
So when you mentioned something before the podcast, I don't know if like it was during before our episode, but you said E4 Mafia. That's not around anymore.
No, so it's gone now because like I think
the hazing.
yeah, well, I mean, because of when I was coming up in the infantry units, and I'm not infantry, but we had to live in the same barracks with them, and then I had to like learn like what they were moving, what they needed, so that I could do all the logistics, like paperwork and stuff for that. So I had to make friends with like the sergeants, run the, carry out the operation and everything. They trusted the sergeants. And that's when that started to go away from the trust of like the E4s. They were taking out like a lot of the NCO E4s run the show.
Team leaders.
Yeah, it's just, and it didn't like, for us, like as being on the opposition. So we, not as a grunt, like we had our own shop as being like Pogues versus the grunts. The grunts was all like general population, platoon politics. That's like what the gist of everything I picked up on it.
So for everybody listening, E4 Mafia was basically a bunch of douchebag shields or corporals or whatever the fuck they were, and they just PT'd you or fucked you up for like hours on it.
They burned you. Yeah. So like you would take you on like so if like one of a mass punishment. So like I grew up in a house where our dad, it was like mass punishment.
Yeah.
So like we all would police each other. So this was nothing new to me going to the Marines.
Okay.
And then we would have the mass punishment over there. So we had all those guys like teach, and it was usually like the E4s that take you on like the log runs. And it's the same, like it was always the same dynamic. Like they're like chain smokers and like, okay, pick up that log. We're going to go on a run. And that's how you like pay the price pretty much for like messing up. If one messed up, like they took like the whole platoon out, and then you're all going.
For me, it was different. So if I messed up, everyone messed up, and I don't do the PT.
Oh, so they like put you on the side, and they were like,
yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? And like they would dude, I was in the 101st Airborne Division. I was in the Band of Brothers unit. So you had to live up to that. But do you know Band of Brothers?
yes. When
Yes.
it's on I just finished it up, and then I like carried on with the Pacific. But Band of Brothers was the Army campaign.
I was in a dog company.
There you go.
And then I went into a scout platoon.
Okay.
Scout sniper platoon. That was awesome. That was so cool.
So in the Army, is that considered like scout snipers? Is that like weapons company, or do you guys like run that differently?
So scout sniper platoon is like basically the closest to battalion. So like you're not like line infantry. Like you're like you're Hollywood. Like you can do whatever you want.
Okay, so you're not in GP with the line companies.
No, not
okay.
general population.
That's our weapons company.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll have like the 31s machine gunners and like the mortarmen that'll go to weapons, and then you're no longer GP with the line.
But you had to like you had to try out, and I tried out. I didn't even know what I was getting myself into, but I tried out, and I did a RPFT, which is a Ranger physical training, physical fitness. RPFT is a Ranger physical fitness test. And yeah, I did that, and I was like, I'm gonna stand out. So I'm gonna run. So I ran 5 miles in 31 minutes, and it was hot as hell, and that was just the beginning, man. For the tryout, then we had to carry like the dummies that weigh like freaking 200 pounds. Carry them like all. It was crazy, yeah. But so scout platoon is definitely a weaponized platoon.
Okay, so you're moving. So if Artie like pushes like to the right, then you guys are gotta be like trained to like walk out of there.
Yeah, then we had an unidentified ruck march. So they didn't tell us when to stop.
Did you have like the motivational lieutenants that were like go out there and they would be like, hey guys, we're gonna do like a 20K? And
so I had like some really good leaders. I'm super happy about that. Like they looked out for me. They're like, you need to get out of the line. You need to go to scout. And then they were like, okay, you need to go to the Rangers. Like, and I was like, and then right when I'm about to like go to Ranger school and then possibly go to the Ranger Battalion, my car accident happened. But this podcast isn't about me; it's about you, bro. So you're a Hollywood Marine, and then where did you get stationed?
So I got stationed in Camp Lejeune, and my schoolhouse was like right down the road for logistics. So it was Camp Johnson. So as soon as I got out of MCT, go to Camp Johnson, it's like right next to Camp Lejeune, and then I got staged in an infantry unit that yeah. So, and I had like zero experience like with like the like doing the admin part of logistics. So it was all like trial by fire.
Dude, infantry units are the best and the worst at the same time.
It's definitely an eye opener. Like I would suggest, like if you go to an infantry unit, like don't let that be like your first like outcome of like what the military is, because everybody's gonna like PCS,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna go somewhere like probably better. You can go to like the wing, or you can go on like ship, or you can go really anywhere.
I wanted Hawaii.
I would have killed for Hawaii. I would have killed for Hawaii.
Like, everyone's so lucky when they get Hawaii. It's bullshit.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I had buddies that were like, "Oh yeah, I got orders," and I was like, "Dude, I hate you so much." Or Japan. Japan was a riot.
Did you go to Japan?
I went. So yeah, I went to. We were down there for KMAP 2017. So it was right around the time they were shooting. Like he was Kim Jong Un was shooting missiles like 20 miles off the coast. He was test trying them. 20 miles off the coast of Okinawa. So we had to go as a relievement for the contingency there to swap out with our brother, sister unit, whatever, and rotate with them. So we were on the rotation. And so we sent dudes advon in advance. And then we sent like the bulk of everybody in like waves. And we were there for, I want to say it was like 6 or 7 months, depending on if you were like, you went advon and then you stayed a little bit longer.
Is this when Trump was like, fuck around, find out? Like he's like, hey, I have a bigger button than you, basically.
He did. He strongmanned it. And they took us on a tour to like the 30 parallel in Korea.
Yeah.
And like, it was all like, they were like, it's just, they're like so outdated in the back. There's like all the gardeners and the guards. And they're just like spoofing up the other side to make it like look.
So you went to the DMZ?
I did.
I think it was the 37th parallel. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we cross trained with the ROK Marines. So the Republic of Korea Marines, we cross trained with them. So we did like a field op up along there.
Dude, they screwed you over. They were like, you know what, you're going to the east side, you're going to be with the infantry battalion, and also you're going to be with the infantry group, and also you're going to go hang out with some Marines.
I mean, I think they set me up for success.
No,
like,
I know.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
I mean, yeah, I was a little bit upset because I was like, I wanted everybody else was getting like special orders.
Yeah.
So they're going to like all the other MSG bases and doing like the regular logistics. And then I'm like, man, I'm stuck over here in like North Carolina. There's really like, it's not bad. It's not 29 Palms, because 29 Palms is like the Tatooine of like where you could be sent. It's just like desert and stuff. And I've had friends serve out there and they're like, yeah, you pretty much motocross and hang out on base, or you take a trip all the way to like main side. So it wasn't bad as a setup.
So how long did you stay in the military?
So I did 4 years. I did 4 years active. And then after I was kind of like, I'm going to head on back home.
Okay. So you got to like, enjoy Japan and see Kim Jong-un fire and stuff. You got to see the military, and I like totally blanked. What was your MOS?
So I was a 0431 embarkation specialist. So we pretty much do like the admin, the shipping, tractor trailers, loading planes, loading ships. We can load trains. I mean, if it's got a serial number and it moves, it goes through us. Like we charter the buses to get you to the airport.
Did you ever do sling loading?
You talking about HSTs, like where you hook up? Yeah, we did. We did KMAP 2017 in Korea. We did that when we were training up along the parallel.
Or Siege for 4-7 cargos, the Chinooks. Like they teach you like what the how much they can like use on a sling hold. I went to air assault school, so I had to learn about sling holding.
So you were in I think was it air assault? That's Virginia, right?
Fort Campbell.
Okay.
It's Kentucky.
Okay.
Tennessee, Kentucky. It's right on the border. It's fucking. You know it because you watched Band of Brothers. Dude, yeah, I was in 2506. I was super proud to be a part of that unit. So I had it tattooed on me. Like I love that I was a part of that unit. The first people, the first soldiers to jump out of the airplanes in D-Day. Like that's a true honor. And like a lot of people in my unit didn't understand that because it looked like crap. Like we were in buildings that like we're old as hell, probably like 70s, maybe even 50s. We were in these buildings, but like these buildings have history. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's there. And is that for the training for like the actual like course you're stuck like within those
No,
buildings?
this was my unit.
Your unit?
This is my unit. This is my barracks room. Like I'll show you a video of my barracks room. Like it's literally you walk in, it's a room. There's no bathroom. There's no nothing. It's just a bed. That's your barracks room. There was a communal shower.
Okay, so you guys got like that one. It's kind of like that one outside, like it's like the shower room. It's got like it's like the latrine. It's the shower. We call it the head, but they set it up like we've only been to like one place in Virginia. It was an army base. I think it was Fort Pickett, I want to say, and they had that similar setup. But these were I kind of feel like I know exactly what type of like barracks you guys were in.
Yeah.
Because like we were looking for the bathrooms. We're like, come on, man, like what? And they're like, yeah, that's right over there. So we would kind of like hike it out at night, and then we're like, all right. You're like, oh, go, yeah, we'll go run out to them.
No, it was an honor to do that. And it was super cool to be a part of that unit. What's your proudest moment to be in the Marine Corps?
My proudest moment, I was gonna say when I got pinned on as corporal, because I had waited like a long time. For me, it was like I waited a long time to like get promoted to it, and I had really good leadership. I had like a lot of good NCOs.
That's awesome.
A lot of good staff NCOs, a lot of good officers. A lot of them were Mustangs too, and they were all there. And I got promoted in the field, so it was
what does that mean, Mustang?
Mustang. So it's when the officer starts off as enlisted, and then they go to officer school.
I love people. I love Mustangs because like I talk to a colonel like every day. His name is Colonel Smith. Shout out Colonel Smith. He was in like Delta Force and all these like he did all these things. He went green. We call it green to gold. I don't know if like that's the same thing, but
it is.
Yeah, Mustang. Like he was in Delta Force as a staff sergeant, and then he like switched up to I could be wrong. I could be wrong, sir, if you're listening. But yeah, like he went. Then he went to officers, which is cool because it like gives you like the perspective, like how the enlisted are dealing with like their lives, where these soldiers get out of like West Point and they don't understand like what the enlisted are going for.
They get it, and it's like I've seen within the infantry unit, like with how many we had like quite a few Mustangs, and like they advocate on the side for the platoons, the live companies, just to like make it easier. They're like, no, I know what that like ruck's gonna do. I know what this training is gonna entail, because they've gone through it on the enlisted side instead of So they have both aspects of both worlds, but they advocate for the enlisted side a lot too. And that's what I really liked out of it.
So when you were in these infantry units, were you a part of their training, like field training exercises?
So we were, but I'm not in the sense of like when they would go to like the mount towns or any stuff like that. Like we put the show on the road. So like I had to be conducting like log stats. We had to check out with like everybody's pretty much like what everybody has out there, and then we'd have to get with our ROs with the line companies, and we'd have to report that to the BC and the COC.
What's the scariest moment you've had in the military? Loading stuff is scary, man. Like you can really, if someone screws up, like I've seen it before. We loaded stuff on trains, and someone screwed up and like the Humvee went down.
I would say when we were doing the HST in Korea, because if you don't ground that like electricity from it, you're getting shocked. And like we had the guys like popping out of the Chinook trying to look like they have their ground guy, and they pretty much have to listen to the ground guy like, hey, hover this way, hover that way. You can either get shocked or crushed, or one of the straps get like caught on your leg. So you got to be able to like jump off of like an armored like Humvee as they're like, you try to get off of it as they're lifting it, but like something can go wrong so fast.
Yeah. Well, dude, it was great talking to you. I know there's a lot of controversy going around the world right now, but if there's people listening that want to join the military, what advice would you give them?
So if you're if you're going into the military, then I mean, the best advice is in the beginning, play the game. That's boot camp. Play the game. Because you got people from all different aspects and like different mindsets and everything. And then eventually you'll get, I mean, it's the great, if I can go back and do it again, I would 100%.
It's so fun.
And it's the greatest experience. It's going to change your mindset on like how you view everything. Like when I came home, everything was simple. Freedom. And
Yeah.
it really, the lifelong friends that I've made that like, if I'm ever like, hey man, I need your help, they will come in like a moment's instance. And those are like, that's that family portion that you're never
Camaraderie.
Yeah. And I've got friends that like go to colleges and they try to compare it to like their fraternities. I was like, it's not the same thing, man. It's not.
Because like they break you down in boot camp. Like I feel like that's the part when you get broken down in boot camp, and then I think they call it a boot when you like first get out. Is that you're just like a boot
Until you deploy.
Yep. Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't deploy, but I was supposed to. That was the goal, but we can talk about that another time. But dude, it was super nice having you on the podcast. Just thanks because we have all different perspectives from people from the Vietnam War and people right now in present day. A person that's my age right now. So Rico, appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Guys, if you enjoyed this content, please like, comment, and subscribe to Life to the Max podcast because we love putting out content. As always, take a breath for me. Thank you.
Great meeting you.
Yeah, you too. thought I'm so used to interviewing like 40 people a day because I go to these trade shows, these expos.
Max, you're live.
Yeah, I interview a lot of people at trade shows. No, I'm so used to it. So like when I came here, we interviewed some vets. Super fun. Yeah. Yeah. Do you know that? Do you know
All right,
that?
thanks for watching, guys. We're gonna end the stream.
Okay, wait. Let me do it. Guys, all 17 of you, I really appreciate you checking out the stream. We're gonna be doing more when we can. I appreciate you listening to the veteran stories like this guy and people who have like had to deal with so much so much stuff back then during the Vietnam War and stuff. So I appreciate you listening, and as always, take a breath with me, subscribe, like, Quafather out.